just be they're already queuing up. So let's.
Okay.
So yeah, welcome guys. This is going to be our first match in this game between Tom Kelly and Hayes Hunter. So these guys are playing in the semifinals. Hayes chose to play light side first. We're going to have some guest commentary from Justin Desai and Steve Baroni and whoever else they decide to bring in here during the time. So thank you guys for tuning in. We have, I think, 35 viewers currently. So
nice.
Get your popcorn ready. This should be a good match, and one of these guys will be in the finals. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll pass it over to Justin, and he'll take you from here.
All right, so we have Hayes Hunter playing Throne Room, same deck he played yesterday. Tom Kelly playing IE Troopers, also same deck he played yesterday, and the deck that he just beat me with in the same matchup. So we'll see if Hayes is able to have a better fate than I did. I lost by 18 in this match after winning the other one. Everyone can hear me, great. So getting started, Hayes with a pretty standard start, Tom with a standard start. Tom is playing the Trooper version and has the Emperor start. Pretty much any deck that can play the Emperor start was going to do it for today, given that Throne Room was so good yesterday for everyone, so popular. Looks like they're pile shuffling, just getting ready, maybe counting. Hayes and Tom, old Kashyyyk region guys from 20 years ago, playing in that region with different regionals and stuff like that. Question from the stream: did Lightside win a game yet today? It's a good question. I did not. Tom did not. Chu won his late side against Salucci. Set your course versus Throne Room in not a close game. So very slow shuffling, but it's happening. We're counting piles, 54 cards in the Throne Room Life Force right now before opening hands are drawn. So what Tom did against me was pretty good. I got a pretty light start. I only had one Twix, and I had a bunch of guys in my hand, but I didn't really have much velocity. And he was able to go Piet to the Executor Docking Bay, Ozzel to the ship, and have mobilization point activation at 2 Docking Bays going into his second turn. And I was not able to do too much against that. I didn't have enough. So we'll see if he takes that same plan against Hayes. I have the chat right here for anybody who wants to see or any questions to ask now while there's a little downtime in the beginning of the game. And Steve will be joining us shortly, and it'll probably be a little more entertaining. Chu and Bastion is the other match. So handshakes, the double pat on the handshake. Wow. Hayes appears to have 2 control tunnel visions in his Throne Room, being prepared for Sizor's Bounty, and just as a good card overall. But that's a little on the unexpected side. It's cool. Looks like we'll be able to see their hands, the way that they're positioned themselves. And Hayes deciding to play some shields. Steve should be joining us soon. Just getting started. Things should be a little more entertaining now that we have Steve. They're just getting started. But.
Awesome.
And we have.
Do you guys mind if I just sit?
No, Matt Sokol's going to join us and watch too. Watch IE versus Throne Room, IE Troopers. Trooper Assaults. Now the interesting card here is which Leia that Hayes plays, and if he has a way to get her. I had her in my opening hand, but she died, so the Admiral's Order was out the whole game.
Actually, the interesting situation here is I think for the first time in my life, I will be actually rooting for Tom Kelly to win a match.
Oh boy. Oh my,
it's
oh my,
exciting.
Oh my. It's also...
What a time to be alive.
Me and Steve may be doing coverage for... Okay. So...
Getting it out of the way.
He's
Why
Yavin
Yavin Sentry?
Meaning that he might not know the deck, which is...
I'll bet you Hayes gets blows out this
Are you sure that's Yavin Sentry?
That is Yavin Sentry.
right there.
Oh, that one. Oh.
Yeah.
We should make sure we're not talking too loud, too, because I think they are relatively close. Let me text Phil.
Man, you got everybody's phone number.
He just texted me. Can they hear us? So Yavin Sentry, which is a little bit of a misstep. It would have to be, well, I mean, he has the reacting troopers, but they're almost never at the same site. So
I think that's a
do have
complete
his
misplay.
number, too.
I think it is a misstep based upon, hey, I'm playing troopers, and I'm going to just play that right away. He's getting a dog and bay. They can definitely hear us, so we're going to be a little bit lighter on the noise right now.
That's probably mostly due to me.
Both Twixes activated. Probably both Twixes in his deck. Looks like he has a speak in hand, but probably not a Wisa, as he would have Wisa'd.
See an altar, they're tracking us. We got 31 viewers right now. That's pretty good. We'll take any feedback too. If anybody in the chat wants to hear something, let us know.
We're getting texts from random numbers of Trump gifts.
Maybe it's Warren Holland.
Yeah, it could be Warren Holland. It's it very well could be Warren Holland. 518 area code. So this would be a great time for. Oh, it's Matt Sokol.
Sitting next to us, texting us.
Sitting next to us with Trump gifts. Okay, Matt Sokol with the nice get there. If Hayes is going to take this long to look through his deck, we will not be finishing this match on coverage.
Well, I will say this. After
it is
during the last round, Hayes did make this snide comment when he was leaving. Well, if they're going to give me 90 minutes, I'm going to take the full 90 minutes.
Wow, that's impressive. So, yeah. So it is
Justin,
being
you,
it is
what
being
do you have
active
to do to
judged.
beat this game? Like, what happened in your game?
So he has the Emperor start, and if you don't get a great start with Throne Room, you can kind of feel like there's a lot of pressure. I think when I played, I had a lot of guys in hand, and I never drew a big hand. I just kind of kept playing guys, and they got barrier and stuff like that. I think if for Hayes to be successful, he should. It's a tough thing to do, but like take 10 damage in a turn, save 4 or 5 force, and draw a hand of like 12 cards, or even more, and just I don't think Monarch's in the deck, so. And then just go hard to like multiple sites and try to clear them off the sites and
drop the world
and
on him.
if he takes, I ended up taking the damage anyway because they're going to barrier you and do different things. So you really he needs to have a big hand.
Did you play much space in your version?
I played a lot of space. So it was really frustrating to not have it, but it was also because I made the bad choice.
Look at that. What a fucking lucky son of a bitch. And he even shows it off like he's being cocky.
Interesting. So he hits both Twixes, so that's huge. That's huge, and that's a big velocity shift. So he's +3 off the activation that I got.
Why didn't you just look at the top card?
He's just saying, where is it?
Yeah, the rescue.
The rescue. Rescue's a weird thing in terms of how it's played.
It's always better to be lucky than good.
Yeah. Well, that's going to change a lot in this matchup. And the one thing that can happen with the IE is it doesn't do a good job of coming back. So
if you can get the one battle.
Get the one
strands all his guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody really hates Hayes.
Yeah, that pretty much just sums it up.
What did they say?
Baroni is not Hayes' biggest fan.
No.
Hayes is somewhat of a polarizing figure for sure.
The lowest point in my life was losing to him last night.
I'm just curious, why do you guys think he's a polarizing figure?
It's different things he's done. It's sort of an approach to walk during games and
he's a talkative guy.
Talkative and sort of maybe pushes buttons at times, maybe.
I guess I just don't agree to his approach with life. We all have our opinions.
Would have been interesting to see Emo's QMC versus Kelly's IE. Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to see. I was playing my game and Steve was watching, so we didn't get a chance to see Emo's IE. Apparently it was crazy. That's a weird matchup. I don't know what happens IE versus
Is that what that is?
QMC.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're now 10 minutes in and we're still on turn 1, so QMC with guts and battle damage triplers. That's cool, Catwall.
You got some slow
That's
players
cool.
because Bastion doesn't play fast.
Bastion doesn't play fast, and Johnny plays incredibly fast. Tom is showing us his entire hand.
What a good sport.
It's
It's like he streamed it before.
it's a decent hand. The fact that he has tactical support is very good.
I didn't see occupation though.
He doesn't
That's
have
big.
the occupation.
What if you had gone Tanev with Anakin and Padme?
Oh, it would have been really tough for him.
Now, do you want 2 Anakins, 2 Padmes?
I have one of each, but I had 2 fly casuals in a Tanov, so in a Bale. So like, and he didn't find an early justice, so it would have been. And I don't think that he has too many Imperial commands, if any. So if Hayes can play Captain Hera or any Destiny adders in space, doesn't even need to be the attrition Destiny. And he does. I'm pretty sure that Tom does not play
I was like
the card that pulls a pilot in their turn. I don't think he plays that card. So.
Oh, yeah, I played it in the ISB. It's really good. I forget the name of it, though.
Yeah, I think this deck just has the.
It's also
Trooper
randomly
instead.
really good for weapons. In this situation, you end up
Right.
choking him out a
Yeah,
lot.
it doesn't. It is good against the weapons. So it looks like Hayes has Draw Their Fire in his deck, which seems is that Draw Their Fire?
Yeah.
It looks like that will be. So it's interesting how that card's going to interact with Barrier.
So he made a big change for the ISB matchup, which I think won him.
Yep.
He took out the 2/2 Naboo site and put in the Cloud City 2/1 site.
Okay.
Wavesman, is that
We were
better?
talking about
I
that.
turned the mic a little bit.
Mm.
He said they can't really hear you too well. Maybe you don't want to.
Okay. US players are too much in love with Throne Room, but apart from that, yeah, there's a big difference. We were talking to Email about Euros versus this, and like he didn't even play Cad Bane in his Black Sun at Euros
Did you
because
see the list? It was like a lot of Diplo and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much Diplo.
But like, how do you combat? What else can you play to combat agents right now, really, other than Throne Room? I tried playing Hitko, and it worked
Right.
well in testing,
Agents
but
is
inevitably
probably too
just,
far above the power curve.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think? Do you think Agents is too far above the power curve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I didn't think so going in, but now I did. I thought people would have decks that were good against it and were like still decent decks, but
I think Throne Room does
doesn't
fine
seem
against
like
it.
No
Throne
one-
Room, but that's the problem is like the decks that do good against it are only like a couple decks. So people's choices are so limited because
Yeah.
the other decks are so bad. Like
They'll
decks with,
errata it
there were
afterwards.
there were no people who played a gift this whole weekend, which was surprising. But it's because those decks just aren't actually good decks, and they don't even guarantee.
Prophet?
Yeah,
I
they don't
actually wish I
guarantee-
had played
They don't
Prophet.
guarantee the damage. So tactical sport room Tom, that was huge. He got that against me, sort of the same. This is almost identical to the start that Tom had against me.
I think
Hayes'
that's
start
everything
is
they pull.
certainly better.
Did he move Emperor up against you or leave him there? the
No,
whole
he
game?
leaves in there, but I only activated about 8 on turn 2, and he had a barrier. So if Hayes has senses or barrier cancelers,
So Hayes yesterday was saying he played 4 senses.
Wow,
I don't know
4
if that's
senses.
still a thing, but
that is a lot. Okay, so he's
What
tactical
is this,
supporting
1999?
for the React. LSIC. Question to the booth. What would you like to see errata to balance AOBS? It's a great question, Wazeman 12.
I think not pulling the Twix is probably a good start. And maybe, like, even that, though, doesn't change the game all that much.
I think that it's weird because the ping is obviously the best part in the drawing, but if it didn't have that, like the tough thing about it is the agent is great and it's really good at winning close games. So like if it didn't have the ping on both players' turns,
It wouldn't be a deck.
it almost feels like it should get hurt and then also something else should be added to it, if that makes sense. But that wouldn't happen because the PC's not going to make an agent's helper.
Maybe instead of drawing a card and pinging for one, you got to use a force and ping for one. I think that would change the dynamic a little bit.
Use a force and ping
And
for one.
not able to download the Twix.
Maybe not download the Twix.
so it needs it.
Pulling a non-battleground, a Twix is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only card that does that.
So, but for agents to be good, it needs that. Like when back in the day before the helper, I would do the any methods necessary start to get the 2-0 because you just need that.
Oh, that's a
force.
good call.
So
Yeah.
if you don't,
I think that
you got to keep the 2-0, but I think it's the pinging that's.
the tricky thing too is like, there's a lot of like when the new set came out, everyone was like light side's gonna be broken, light side's gonna be broken because of OA and all that stuff. And if you hurt agents, does like OA become like is a card like Red 5 just like broken now because all the agents kind of does keep some of the really powerful light stuff in check, even though OA is pretty good against agents.
Is Tom the only one playing OA today?
I believe so, yeah.
Is the only
I also don't think OA is good, but it's if you take agents out of the meta, I still
Wow.
think it has enough bad matchups.
Hayes
What are some
does
bad
Hayes
matchups?
does have the 4
ISB?
senses.
That Coruscant CRV deck that's been online a little bit is supposed to be cleans it up. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's a real deck, but like I feel like Bring Before Me is a bad matchup for it.
So a lot of 4 senses in Hayes' deck and an altar and 2 controls. So
That's what you counted.
that's a lot of stack.
Hey, how big is your sack?
It's
What did I
pretty
say?
big.
This is 19,
This is-
2000?
I think he had
Yeah,
a control
2000.
in his hand too.
I think he has the control in his hand. So, but they seem to be in his reserve deck. So, an interesting thing too, Sense cancels the reacts. So
Yeah.
it could just be that the Sense is like exactly what he needs to do. That being said, a lot of guys in his reserve deck. So, doesn't seem like there's much space. I think that's maybe the route that Hayes took for beating Black Sun was
No
I'll just
space.
play a ton of ground and I'll play Black Sun.
As he's going through it, I haven't seen a single ship yet.
I haven't either. So I mean that's interesting. I would say if I didn't play a ship, I would get about 8 or 9 card slots. So
Yesterday I did Tanit, Profundity, and Rogue One.
Rogue One. We did Tandem, Profundity, and Wedge and Red Squadron 1. How about you make it pull a site once per game? I think the issue is then people pull the Twix and then they pull Vigo V, and that slows it a little bit.
And that
That
pulls
might
the
be
2-1.
that might be enough to slow it down because it does have these margins that are like Agent's margins are pretty thin.
I think the turn 1 flip is the backbreaking part.
Would it make any difference if 3 battlegrounds had to be occupied by Black Sun agents? I don't think so. I think you just see more Vigos, and there would always be a Vigo with Palpatine. Then you have to pay for Vigo turn 1. Yeah, we actually had a list that pulled a system.
Nalhada.
Okay, so Yoda to the site, probably, yeah,
To
and
get
you
the
see he gets
sense.
the sense. He
I
saw
actually
the
did
4
that in a
there.
matchup yesterday. I did Shadow Split 2-0, and then the Vigo Vita pulled Zizor's site.
Does
Right.
it slow you down enough?
So Matt played the
that was
Sizer site.
that was fantastic. I was playing against No Idea, Karuli, and I think that was what made the difference because I just started the pressure early.
Right, and the
Yeah.
games where you draw the Twix in your opening, or any of the sites in your opening hand, because you can pull the Twix if you draw a site. So one of 4 cards, which is a pretty big number, in
like
your opening
Vader and
hand,
Huntdown.
it's like Vader and Huntdown, and you pull the Twix if you don't, and then your velocity is just out of control. Yeah, and the fact that like
What did he grab with Yoda? Did he grab?
he
a
grabbed the
sense?
sense. So I think if you're thinking of what Hayes is thinking, he's saying, and this is kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to cancel the react and then just go to town. So comparison to our game that I played with Tom Kelly, he had Hayes is about +3 or 4 activation and will be able to just draw cards, which is nice. And
How much throne room was there today? Was it just you and Johnny?
me, Johnny, and
Salucci.
Hayes, and
Hayes. Okay, so
Salucci
three.
also. So that's 4
Four
throne
of them
rooms.
were throne
Wow.
rooms?
And there was,
4 out
if
of
you
8.
look at yesterday, 3 of the top 4 were throne rooms, and then that was it, right?
Email Bastion.
Oh, and then 4 yesterday too. 'Cause Salucci had it yesterday.
Did Emil ever say why the Europeans don't play throne room?
I don't know. He says it's just the style, but they never really said why. It is quite stark why light side, why American players play so much throne room and Europeans don't.
Maybe that's why the only world's email has won hasn't been in America.
So
It was Canada and
Toronto, Canada, and
is Hayes
Yeah.
playing tunnel vision in his draw phase? Interesting. If he's playing tunnel vision in his draw phase, that means he's being respectful of Monarch.
or he I didn't get a good look at his hand, but or he has a bunch of guys that he knows he's coming down with next turn
Yeah.
and he wants to save the force.
Or maybe he has yeah, I think he's probably trying to just. No, it doesn't seem like he's got that big a hand.
I think I saw 2 cards.
Yeah, I think so. This is looking really good for Hayes because it's playing into. Maybe this is still his deploy phase. Okay,
I think it's also been about 30 minutes. And it's only
been a
the
while.
second
It's
turn.
been a while.
Alright.
Okay.
Yep, and that's why I grabbed the sense because he's gonna grab the.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
His hand's kind of stacked. You got
Yeah,
the Jedi left.
he's got all of the. He's grabbing the barrier, which I think is the right card. The barrier. And this you can see this is the difference when you get the double Twix in your opening hand. You're able to really kind of have this happen, and this is going to set.
Yeah, I guess if you don't get the JCC in his opening hand, he doesn't get to play.
Now,
Yoda
what
pull the
could
sense.
end up happening here, though, is that if Luke kills the Emperor, if Luke kills the Emperor, he can pull the Admiral's order and then flip, and Luke's by himself. And if Hayes doesn't have other guys, It's gonna be pretty tough.
I definitely saw Cornhorn in Hayes' hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but you
Cornhorn's
don't-
not
yeah.
super
No,
good.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't know what else he has, but I did see that one, and he's probably gonna get 3 off of.
Gosh, Leia. Well, that's a good stack. Yeah, he
He's
did that.
playing the.
He did that because
Yeah,
he's
it's like-
ISB.
We were talking about that.
So he's
this
playing the lower
morning.
quarter. We'd actually talked about that too because
That's kind of sad.
this commentary is great. Thank you, Dr. Wittgenstein. Really insightful. Well, that's great. Where's Dutch Fader? Sorry, Europeans don't play Throne Room because it's a boring deck. Europeans like tricks and nonsense. See emails, QMC. Yes, Europeans also don't like winning on the United States soil.
But that is neither here nor there.
Wow. He didn't grab his saber. He didn't have his saber.
That's
Whoa,
awesome.
And Emperor's Power +1 because of the system.
So he's 9, and he didn't justice. Okay, so he gets the +1. The
He
+1's
drew
basically
4, so he got a
he didn't
5.
even.
So
Right?
it's 9 to 11.
It's
Because he drew a.
9 to 11. Yeah. So he loses 2 force, and he moves the Emperor away. That seems fine.
That's
And
a
he
big
gets the
swing
+1. And
without
he
the
can also,
saber.
there's no saber, so he can go down with like 5 troopers, beat down Luke, and then split up, or not even do that. He can also do Docking Bay Transit and flip in his move phase. This
That's
is the
dirty.
no saber thing is good. So this is what I was talking about, and it's really hard to do, but I don't think you come down this turn.
No.
And I did the
You
same
gotta
thing.
eat
I
it.
think you draw to 15 cards, and then your next turn you save, and then you just drop every single card in your hand.
Saber, man. Luck don't last forever, lawn boy.
Dr. Wittgenstein, Moto
Did you ever
PTQ, what are you
watch,
playing in Magic?
Summer Catch.
Dr.
Old Freddie
Wittgenstein, what are you
Prinze
playing in
Jr.
Moto PTQ?
movie? Filmed on Cape Cod? No.
So Wazeman,
Also, Steve, that's
with
cute.
with Rescue,
Where's Jem when I need
you're
someone to
now
back
able
me
to
up?
maybe play a different site. You're not necessarily weasing for. It's a little less consistent, but and with 2 control tunnel visions, it seems like he's able to find that card. So ISB is a deck that both Hayes and I lost to yesterday with Throne Room, and
It's a good
having
deck.
it be a different. Angelo's here to defend the European pride. Angelo is maybe the only European to ever win a tournament on American soil. Oh, Bastion too.
Bastion, yeah.
Okay, 2 people.
How's it looking?
It's like the second turn.
It's the second turn, so but
Hayes may play slower than you.
Really?
Really?
This is unbelievable.
slowest people
You
ever.
wanna sit down, my friend?
No, it's okay. And
Slowest player ever was Kevin Shannon, I think, and then Hayes is up there, but Kevin
he
Shannon.
plays
you want to hear
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story about that?
What's that?
So in 2000 it was differential, and so Kevin Shannon
Yeah.
Kevin Shannon got a time win his final game because he's Kevin Shannon,
Mhm.
and if he hadn't gotten the time win, he would have played the finals against Yannick.
Oh no way! Really?
Wow.
It's crazy. Can everyone hear Matt Sokol? Because the mic's pointed away from him. Just want to make sure.
They said they
You're
couldn't
right.
hear you
so
before.
actually, Ketwall, in the early stages of the game, it was a lot of Europeans winning worlds, but then that didn't happen for a long time.
Yeah, because nobody was coming over anymore.
Right. Well,
That all changed in '98.
I mean,
Oh no, the Carmen won in '99.
Carmen won in '99. Emo won in 2001. Bastion won in 2002.
Emo didn't
No, no,
Not-
Bastion won in
not,
2001. I
Angelo,
won
I'm sorry.
in
I'm sorry.
2002.
Yeah. You won in 2002,
Yeah.
and then Emo won a lot later, like 14 or something.
Yeah.
Was Emil around before?
He
Yes.
says he played. Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
he played. I think he was.
I think he didn't
there.
travel to the United
I
States.
had never heard of him.
You never heard of him, but
until
I
they
think
won
he was the
World
type of guy that
Championship.
like came in like third at Euros and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He
and I
was
think
definitely-
he said that he was there 2000 or 2001 at FreedomCon and
That's
he
barely,
was at FreedomCon.
and
yeah.
barely missed top 8.
Right, so he just knew what he was doing. So updating the game. Okay,
Gary
so-
Carmen, question mark.
He's
Yeah.
a '99 world champion from.
Well, I
the
said no
UK.
one won on
Oh,
American
I
soil.
got it.
and now
That
people are
was
So
operatives, right?
No, that was '98. That was Matt Potter.
Matt Potter
okay.
operatives, and then there was like the guy who won
I think Gary Carmen played
Jeremy,
hidden
whatever.
base.
He played hidden base.
an ISB.
Was it hidden base times?
Would he won in '99?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I played with. when I won in
That's fun.
2000.
Yeah. So, Tom is pulling sites. It'll be interesting to see if Tom tries to beat down Luke.
I just
There's
realized
really
I'm
no
the only
downside.
non-world champion in this room right now.
A lot of world champions.
Wow.
You must feel bad.
I feel like such a small man.
Who, just for the chat, how's coverage been today? Do you guys like our version better?
Oh.
He's going for the beatdown.
He's going for the beatdown, and I think I saw Gick in. He's got the Admiral's Order. I mean, this is
Maybe that's why he saved the saber.
Oh my God! If he beats him down right now,
Oh boy! All right, so let's lock in. Going downhill. You know what, Dalton? Is that Dalton? Is that Michael Dalton?
Dalton, my man.
Oh, so he's gonna flip. Now Kirkanos there is weird because if Hayes has like a dodge, putting him there is not the best call.
I don't think I saw a dodge.
Can he cancel it anywhere, or does he have to be in the battle? Is he just like
Yeah.
It's in
broken.
battle.
I will say this: that Tom's Destiny is really frustrating to play against because it's just like all threes and fours. Like he literally can't draw like a 1.
Yeah.
So like when he's trying to hit,
But he
like,
can't draw a 5 or
He
6
can't.
either.
Well, he has a couple 5s. The Destiny in the deck is actually strangely high. You wouldn't think that a deck with troopers and stuff is gonna be high, but the fact that it plays it plays Mara and
I thought this
Vader-
wasn't a deck anymore. This
Does
trooper crap.
Does Hayes have Hujix in hand? Yeah, I saw it flash.
I
Gick
saw
in
it
hand.
flash. But
He
there's no lightsaber.
Callaghan, you saw Gick in hand.
Okay.
Yeah. You mean Hujix?
Hujix.
Hujix. Gick would be a rules violation.
Wouldn't it?
No occupation. So Steve. Now, one thing that Tom did against me is like, I Hujixed twice. I sold it.
Did he grab it?
No, but
What did he grab versus you?
so Tom grabs anti-occupation cards. So I had one. We're doomed, and he grabbed it.
That makes sense.
So he has the Hujix, but he can come down the next turn. Oh boy, Sergeant Wall and Trooper Assault.
Trooper assault. Bam.
I will say this: Yavin Sentry not looking great right now.
Well, he better have the Hujix or
So he played Kirkanos, so none of his guys would die because he's got the Emperor and all troopers who are going to be immune.
Oh, that makes sense.
that's why he's playing there and I'm not.
I mean, even if he gets the Hujix out of there.
And I think they're probably talking about Wallen interacting with Trooper Assault, and that Tom did do it in the right.
Yeah, in the
order.
right order.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
I mean,
deployed him first and then Trooper
Trooper
Assault.
assault. Yes.
Right. So I think what's going to happen now is he's going to go move over, and then docking bay transit. The tough thing is he's going to flip. The tough thing is now getting Leia's not bad, but that Leia's
Doesn't do it.
strangely not that good, and Tarkin's bounty just completely makes her text 0, so which Tom does play. So
How
that's
do you get the Hujix in your hand like that?
He does have it.
Wait,
I don't
he
see
does?
it.
He does have it.
He does have it,
Does
It's
he?
its top card. He
Oh,
has
is it? I
Hujix
thought that
and he
was
has
Rebel
Clash.
Barrier.
Clash is decent in this deck, but I will say this: he doesn't have great stuff next. Like he's got
Jar Jar and Corrin? That's it?
Did he have a neighboring in there too?
no,
Maybe
it's like a
it doesn't matter.
Clash.
Was
Maybe
it-
a Grimtash. I think he
I thought
should.
he stacked it.
I
It doesn't
what's
matter,
the
but-
bottom card? Oh, is that Grimtash?
think-
What's the card underneath? Does anybody know in the chat what's the card underneath on evac?
I thought it was a Grimtosh.
He's taking Leia. Leia makes sense, but
He has so many guys out, though, that he's going to be drawing Destiny everywhere.
alright. So he draws a 5, which is plus. It's not +1. So he does have to. He's gonna have to Gick. Tom's gonna lose nothing.
Hayes is going to slow roll the Hujix, because that's
Yeah.
what he does.
So Matt earlier
Oh!
asked
That's a quick play.
yeah.
asked about that, but there certainly was some drama there with the showmanship. But he's gonna.
Oh, I think he might have Lando, too. Did I see Lando? I don't know.
didn't
My eyes
see
are going on me
Lando.
in my old age.
But now he's got the Admiral's Order. He can do that, which is a great play. He flips. He gets to retrieve a trooper, and he hasn't lost anything. He's lost 2 cards.
And his whole deck is out.
But it's weird. When I was playing him, I was like, how many cards do you have left? How many cards do you have? And it was always 20 plus because it gets to this stage and it doesn't really do that much else. You think it plays a ton of cards on table, which it does. It's not going to win by 30,
So
but
am
it's
I- am
not
I-
that it wins by 5.
In my testing, I would play myself against the trooper deck in Gem, but like after you blow your loads, like
Yeah.
just drop all these guys, what do you do now? Now it's just a cat and
So
mouse game, and his character and
The
his
problem is he
characters are
doesn't
better.
have. The problem is he doesn't have occupation right
Yeah.
now. If he had occupation. it'd
Fiat
be-
Occupation is a completely different game. Now, I wonder if
But he essentially time locked Hayes.
I wonder what Hayes plays for guys. It seems like he does not play many guys. Like I wonder if Solo's even in the deck. And for someone like Hayes, who is more of an old school guy, he may not play like
That's
these
an
extra
interesting
guys.
setup
The
for
old main
where he
stacks
left all the
played
guys.
12 guys and stuff. Yeah, maybe it's I think what it is he has the React
Trooper in his hand.
trooper in his hand, and potentially also is trying to play barrier.
How much did he save? 3?
He
Looks like
saves
3.
3, and the React costs 2 with the Admiral's Order.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he can't barrier. Then he can barrier now with this same
Right.
force, but
So Hayes has what, 3 characters in hand?
Hayes has Jar Jar, Lando, and
Leia. No, he took
appears
Leia
to be.
from.
He might not have Lando. I couldn't really tell.
I think so. So a sense could be bad. He
Yeah.
does not have a sense in his hand.
Because he pulled it and he played it.
I didn't see like Ray.
He does have a controlled tunnel vision in his hand, though. I did see that.
I thought he played it. He
I
played
thought
it
he had
earlier.
another one. I could be wrong.
But the thing is,
Yeah,
he just
so he
played.
has that. Does he have a Luke in his hand? Does he have a Luke in his force pile?
Oh, Luke Saber's in his force pile now.
He has
Oh
that
boy,
one. He
he's
does
a
have
Luke,
Luke
but
in-
no, but the Saber's in his force pile. Anakin.
A quick update on the Chu Bastion game. It looks a bit better for Chu now because he has
Let's
Execute
go.
out and
It's versus Watch Your Step, right?
against Watch Your Step. Yeah,
You-
Bastion missed the pool with combat with squadron assignment.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, that's a sad
So,
story. That
hold
we're
on,
seeing.
hold on.
So sad to hear
You
that.
walked into this room like 15 minutes ago. You're just telling us now that Chu's looking good?
I'm about to leave. Sorry. No, I'm just having.
Yeah, I think
lunch. So
you're
it
breaking my
looks.
heart.
Yeah.
You certainly have 3 out of the top,
So,
three of
see
the
you-
three of
see
the
you
4.
later.
Well, now Angela's leaving, so 3 of the 3 people here are certainly pulling hard for Chu
Thank
to
you,
win
Angela.
this right now.
Yeah.
Matt, Steve,
Miss
and
Guzzi.
me, representing the 2 teams that Johnny has affiliated himself with over the past 20 years of the Chu train of dominance, the CTOD.
The CTOD.
So do we know what?
Hayes is still looking through his force pile.
He's still, yeah, we're still in action. So
I think it looks like he's gonna take a Luke. Took a Luke.
He
took
might,
a Luke.
he might not have even activated yet this turn.
control tunnel vision. I'm still activating to it now.
How many of you guys' games went to time yesterday?
I play really, really fast. So
I had one go to time and I played really, really
So I
fast.
played Tom Hayden, who I know plays really slow, and from my turn 1 took about 12 seconds, and my turn 2 took 15 seconds. And I told him after the game, I said, I think our chess clock was like 90% you, and he was like, yeah, I guess so.
It was funny. I was playing Angela.
Good
we were playing
game,
the team tournament Friday night against Angela. I was like turn 2. I'm like,
This is funny.
I
Listen
go-
to the story, guys. It's a good one.
I go, this game's probably gonna go to time. He's like, yeah, probably. I'm like, what? Like seriously?
So that
It
Grand
did not
Dash
go
is
to
never
time.
gonna matter. So this is the frustrating part from the light side perspective, where the firepower the firepower shield, if something gets barriered, is really annoying because you end up letting them retrieve one, and they're going to retrieve a trooper during their turn, and a deck that should be putting cards on the table and you feel like you should be able to whittle down is actually
Well, if he
not
barriers
bad.
here, he's not gonna have the force to retrieve with firepower.
Oh boy, so 3 for barrier, and that is huge. Now Hayes has another
Oh, he might have.
guy,
he
so
might
he
have
goes
picked two.
Lando and oh boy.
He'll beat up Trooper Devin Felth.
Yeah, he could beat up Trooper David Felth here. He could. So, okay.
I mean,
here's
you have
something.
to draw good. It doesn't seem like his.
Here's something Hayes could try to do right now. He could try to fight David Felth and Piet, and
Flip him back.
flip him back.
Does
and
he
that'd
have
be
that much
huge.
force though?
I mean, he had the JCC and
He'd have to
Yoda.
have 10 more force.
I think he's got it. Plus, he's
Well, he
got
can
the
put
Luke
one card
effect.
down. So Leia's 4.
Yeah.
If he does that, and it doesn't work, the game could be over because
Why
Hayden
do- I
can, or Tom can rebuy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he does have solo in his hand. That's
Oh,
what it
well.
was. It wasn't Lando. It was solo.
I think he
Solo's
had a
huge.
Lando too.
I think that
does
is.
he?
I don't think that's solo.
I don't know.
I think it's Corrin, Horn, Lando, Leia, and Jar Jar. Now, Tom's deck. Now, this is an interesting thing. If he doesn't flip him back, and this house sometimes fails, Tom can look at the top 4 or 5 cards of his deck,
Grab
take a
occupation.
tactical support, and go
Rebeat.
off.
Oh.
And go
How
off.
many more guys can he have though?
You'd be surprised. I was surprised.
But it's
It doesn't look like there's 8 force there, to be honest with you.
he just
It
paid
doesn't.
4 for it.
Oh,
He
did
paid 4, and then he's not gonna be able to battle twice. So I think he's really, and this is exactly what happened to me. It's kind of like I could use all of my turn to do stuff, but if it doesn't go that well, it's not. I'm just gonna lose the game, which is tough.
If he has another Trooper Assault too, he could just play that and peel maybe like 3 or 4 cards instead of losing the guy.
Leia there is not a good call. That is not a good call by Hayes. He's trying to beat down,
flashback.
and he's gonna try to weapons display to make him lose 2, but that just does not matter.
I mean, if he doesn't have the Gick, if Tom Kelly doesn't have the Gick,
Did he bury your Luke?
Yeah, but if he plays Lando right now with Leia,
Doesn't have enough to battle and Leia. He's gonna play Leia against Kyrkanos, and Kyrkanos is
if he just plays Leia versus
plus.
Kyrkanos, that's stupid.
He's gonna fight. He's gonna say weapons display,
He already played weapons display.
but weapons display excluding.
Right after he played Yavin Sentry.
So he's excluding the 2. So Tom's gonna lose 2. And it's
How many occupations does he play though?
4 or 5.
Yeah, so whatever.
And he's gonna be able to get it next turn. But I honestly think that
Because he'll scry next turn and just get it.
the fact that 6. That
Yeah,
doesn't actually do
that's
anything.
what it- yeah.
it's-
I mean,
it's
if he
5
doesn't have
power,
the-
5 power and 6 forfeit. So
Oh, wow. That guy's pretty good.
I mean, the Leia's not bad now.
I don't understand it. I thought for sure Throne Room destroyed this deck.
I knew it was not going to be good. I kind of knew, but I really think like the strategy to beat this deck is just to take a bunch of damage, and it would have worked even better for Hayes because Tom doesn't have occupations. He would have taken 4 and just drawn and saved like 6, and then the next turn you activate 15 and you just play all your guys.
When you were playing, did you feel limited with your character choices in your hand?
Yeah, I felt limited just overall in terms of I felt limited overall in terms of I felt like I was kind of clamped, but it was the way I played. So what happened with me is I felt like I played the first 3 turns horribly, and then I was able to grind the end game out. But it was the second game when I had won by 13, so I wasn't necessarily trying to win. I was trying to get him down under 13, and it sucked with him retrieving stuff with firepower and the objective. It felt like it was like I would drain for 3, but then he would retrieve with firepower if I played a guy and retrieve a card with his objective. I'd net only
So
one
he's just
card.
gonna drain 2.
So he's doing 4 damage this turn.
I mean, he's gonna lay it twice, but he'll scry.
So it seems like Hayes is on a lot of rescues, maybe not 3PO.
How many rescues were you guys playing?
We only played 2.
I played 3 in my hiccup.
I played 3 in my
3. You played 3 in
I
the
think
Throne Room. I think 3 would have been better.
3, because 3 in Throne Room, you can get a free one if you get in your opening hand before they can tie it down.
You could theoretically get 3 free ones. Your turn.
Then they'll pull the grabber.
Oh, they activate first on their turn. You're right. I'm sorry. See, that's why I'm not good at this game.
So Tom activated 15 and all of his characters deploy for -1. There's a real chance that Trooper Assault, if he has troopers on Leia and...
That's not it. The forfeit's too big. There's
Not a Hoojix, but
there's no
he's only
You can't
9
beat
power.
down
there's
Leia
no
and
beatdown
Luke.
here coming.
Yeah, you're right. There's no beatdown coming, but it could certainly be a clear and just here's all my sites are stacked.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
think.
bad.
I think.
Like move Piet up and then just go like stack the site that you beat down at.
What just happened?
He'd search his deck for something.
Yeah,
probably a
Tom does
site.
this a lot. Tom does it a lot. He does a lot of searching for something.
Can you
not
search for
fun. Search for a site, yeah.
He hasn't scried during his control phase, though, right?
I think he's scryed already.
Did he scry?
I
Are you
hope
guys
he
using
did.
a magic term?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So we'll see if he's aware of Leia or not. He could,
I mean, Tom Kelly's not the greatest player, but he does know how to play this deck, so I'm sure he knows.
yeah, and that is sort of where I felt like I was too. Like Tom really knew his deck.
That was a backhanded compliment if I ever heard one.
It's just facts.
You said 2 NPCs. Are you saying?
I mean,
hold on. Are you saying 2 NPC winners aren't that good?
Yes, that's exactly. I mean,
I'm sorry. How many NPCs have you won?
2. I'm not that
all right,
good.
So you're gonna lump yourself in there. I got you. All
I
right.
have no problem admitting that I'm not a really good player.
If Hayes is picking up information, he sees 2 kicks.
Just better than most people.
Better
The
than
other
me.
thing too is that Hayes and
You got the world championship,
Hayes
buddy.
and
I won a tournament once 20 years ago.
Where is the sushi place?
The half-price sushi place.
Angelo's here looking for sushi, guys.
Menzel.
What the hell, guys?
It's not
Menzel's here looking for sushi also.
The price is really good.
Okay.
You can swear. It's PG-13.
Okay.
So Chris Menzel has gotten wind. Angelo came running for the Europeans saying, "Hey, listen, we have slow players on stream," and they all came running like, "Wow, how slow can these people be?"
Is it Europeans?
No,
it's
it's Hayes.
Hayes
He
Hunter.
plays
Well,
slower than
Slower than a European. That's
I
not
know.
possible.
I think my all-time people asked in my interview who the GOAT is and stuff like that. But the more important question is who's the slowest
Slowest player of all
And I
time.
think Kevin Shannon's number 1. I think
Yeah, I
1A
saw they
is
got rid of
1A
Kevin
is.
Oh,
Shannon
here-
because
here
he was
comes-
so
here
slow.
comes Mara.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Ooh, a Mara.
Ooh.
This
Dude, if he
could
gets
be
dirty right here,
Okay.
Yep.
I might run out the room like they did at the 2000 Worlds.
Oh boy. Oh, Tarkin is no leaders.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. He still redraws with an appeal, right?
Leia's justice,
And then
though.
half price cash.
Half
Oh,
price
yeah,
cash.
see that.
But Leia's getting
But the
hit.
they're
redraw is
front
more
of the
important on
ball,
the
I
swing.
That's good.
He really needs.
We go. No, I love it. We go. We get like.
Actually, it
8
seems
holes
like
with
bad
dinner with
why
my
he's
wife.
battling.
But
Okay,
why
It's
is there
30
the issue that I'm seeing now is no occupation?
gonna go
It's
have some
turn 4 or
breakfast,
5.
Yeah.
There's just no. The Europeans are getting breakfast. It also is 2 o'clock. And if you're wondering if there's a time issue, no, because it's
Who did he
8
swing
o'clock
at?
in Europe.
Oh, he swung at Luke.
No,
Yeah.
no. Was that
He
Vader?
swung at Luke and hit him.
Is that Vader?
No, it's Mara.
No, it's Mark. So swinging at Luke is actually kind of strange, given the fact that
He could deflect.
he could deflection.
That
I
would've
think
been really
that's
bad. Hey,
I think that's weird. Now he's putting
even a
card
blind
face
squirrel
down,
finds a nut.
which is awkward. Not quite sure what's happening with that. Misplaying a card's not appropriate. I think he's trying to he's trying to make sure he doesn't activate the force with the evac because there's a sight on it. Doesn't want to accidentally do it, and now he's getting his way because that's the way it usually happens. Okay.
I mean that's like using a marker in the game. Just
Yeah.
not
So-
appropriate.
So who's your top 10 all-time slowest?
I want to
Paul
tell you.
Todd
You think
Feldman?
that's bad? I got to tell you another story.
Oh, Matt's got all the stories
I've
today.
got a
guys.
great. So in 2000, you guys remember Clint Hayes?
Yeah, of course, remember Clint Hayes,
So he was playing ROPS.
friend of the KTOD.
Like all his.
Be
like,
careful what you say.
I'm not gonna be careful. I don't give a shit. So he.
Oh, 2 Leia Rebel Princesses. What is happening?
It's agents maybe, but
It doesn't even seem that good versus agents.
he took a marker and blacked out all the
He
pictures.
blacked
Oh,
out
yeah,
all his
yeah.
cards as a famous deck tech.
Just as a way to be like.
Yeah. It
you
was
know.
legal apparently in the time because I remember Raph asked if it was not allowed.
Do you know who he played in the first round of day 3?
He
Yep.
played. He played.
Do you know what happened in that game?
He smacked him. Same rules. Matt Sokol, 17 years ago.
18.
18. World champ. I actually played Matt Sokol at that Worlds.
Did we?
2000, yeah.
Look at
I
that. He
played
doesn't even
Britain.
remember
I
you.
know. I
You were so beneath him
I beat
then.
you.
Did you beat me?
You played some like weird hidden base mains deck, and I played
Was
Brigham.
it day 1?
What happened?
Yeah, it was day 1.
Day 1. Yeah.
I like choked a bunch of your stuff. I played like all 7s.
I did not. I won just enough games day 1 to get in.
Yeah, you like 16.
I sound like that old guy who was really good at college or high
Why
school
did you
football.
hit
That's
him?
exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't think of an eloquent way to say it.
So, Dutch Vader says,
My
why
high
did you
school
hit him?
football
Maybe he wanted to definitely clear the site. There's some overflow. Wow, there was a little overflow because of the Mara.
That's great. What's there? I don't understand.
I don't understand how Leia lived.
Oh, she's immune less than 5 with Luke.
Is that the text?
I
on
thought
that?
it was Han and Jabba. Maybe it's with Luke.
I thought it was Han and Jabba. Can someone say why?
Maybe he drew a 0 for Destiny.
I'm gonna text Phil.
He
Why
could have drawn
did
a. I don't know.
Leia live?
This actually does not look very good for Hayes right now.
I mean, he's one character out.
I mean, it'd be a lot better if he had occupation. I will say this while we're on camera.
So Kevwell says she's immune. Okay, so she's immune.
Thank you, Ketwall.
Hayes has this is an interesting turn that could happen now. Hayes has had Clash in hand for a while and has been probably able to get his Luke's lightsaber out now because it's been in his force pile and he's used all his force. So a Luke Lando.
But if he has
So he just deactivated too. He's still like
Luke
he's
Han
tracking.
Jabba,
it depends if he has the Gek or not. I don't know.
I don't think he does. He searched his deck and there were 2.
All right.
That's true.
What's the over under on how many cards he activates? Why is he doing it backwards?
I was just trying to see like what he wants to draw.
I don't know.
They're on the same team.
These 2 guys.
Yeah, Joe Olsen.
Is this the big super team?
This is the big.
This is
super
the team with no jobs.
This is the team
Hashtag
that
team unemployment.
Johnny Chu will demolish this deck. I think.
Hayes Hunter has a job, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Tom Kelly.
Phil's on the team, which is strange because Phil
He's a
definitely
real
has a job.
person.
Yeah, it's a strange thing.
I like Phil.
Phil's a really nice guy. 1/5. Tom's cool. No, not cool. Tom's a nice guy.
But is he?
You guys are getting all the info. I said some
But is he?
I said Tom's a nice guy, and my team was not in agreement. DDM, what's up, DDM? DDM, what do you think would happen if you played Aaron Kingery in a game of Star Wars? Who do you think would come up on top with the starship weapon hitting stuff?
Whose deck would be weirder?
Yeah, you guys should. What do you think?
So it's been like 4 minutes
Kingery or DDM for weirdest decks? Who's the GOAT weirdest deck builder?
DDM maybe. Kingery.
Kingery's always been, like
It's Starship Weapons.
Starship
with
Weapons.
R2 and fire
So-
extinguishers. Or like every deck you call.
Real question for Team Albany. Like, when you guys ask how the tournament's going, Emo Wallen's in the house. Is it like wins and losses, or is it like Starships hit?
When we ask how the tournament going, it's basically like, hey,
How many
so,
executors
how
have you
is
shot
Chu
down?
doing?
Well, how's Chu doing?
And everyone else is like, we know how
So,
we're doing.
Emo Pulpit. We have Emo Wallen, 2-time world champion.
You want to take a seat, my friend?
And he's
In
watching.
your lap? No, thank you.
Oh,
Catch up on the
Archmage, what time because no one would know the rules. Oh boy. Archmage, Johnny goes to you for rules.
Look at that.
That's
He's
all been. So the big story of this game
Kinger's
is,
watching. That's awesome.
is kind of the dominating aspect of it. Oh, he doesn't have Luke in his hand.
No, he's got.
He has no lightsaber.
So clashes are relevant.
So he's gonna play. Ooh, Jar Jar could be really good.
I mean, he hasn't gicked yet though. He's got to have a
He
gick.
doesn't have Gek. He has two in his. He has two in his reserve deck. So
There,
this
Jar Jar's
could
big.
be bad news. Projectile telepathy either way. No.
I might cry.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad. David Fell's gonna get Jar Jarred. That being said, he's decent power, and like he's decent forfeit. So like it might not actually be
He's
that many
drawing
cards.
too, though.
He's drawing too. And Hayes probably tracks some of the stuff. That deck may play 3 Geks. Is Emo crying? No.
No, that was Baroni that said that.
So the big story of this game is no
Is
occupation.
he crying?
That's the best compliment I've ever gotten in life. Someone confused you with me.
Ooh, nice. For me? No, wait.
No, exactly.
Have we seen any ships in Hayes' light deck?
No, I don't think he plays any.
Doesn't appear to. Tries to win the sack
Sorry,
war.
buddy. Oh, that was-
So,
All right, so Trooper.
oh,
Assault.
Trooper Assault. Interesting. To try to potentially
Save some force.
save some force, but this could be bad. This could be real bad.
I mean, he could just draw at 1.
Depends on
He
Destiny.
grabbed barrier already.
He
Emo.
could just grab a control stuff for stun.
I should grab him.
He has. So Hayes has Jedi Lev, and they're tracking us in hand.
Control tunnel vision. That'd be. Never mind.
If Hayes does not draw, if does not get the Jar Jar going, it's like Hayes can end up losing a guy.
Oh.
That doesn't matter.
Well, that's not good. Davenfeld has 4 power and forfeits 7, so he has
11.
He's
plus
gonna hit
1
him
in
with
system, so
Chewie.
12. Oh, he has Chewie out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Get more power though.
So this is bad news for Tom. This is real bad for Tom. No force to move Leia away. Okay, fair enough. That's true. That's a good point.
You do 2 senses. Oof.
Playing
Who's
4,
sick?
right?
So 6, 12. He's 18 power.
18
God
to
forbid
6.
if there's a third
So
kick.
12. If there's 3 Geks, that would be something. So there's no Gek kept well. Unless there's 3. 18.
Yeah, that makes sense. He drew 6 for Destiny.
Oh, and then he can't activate though. He might try
Oh,
to
he's
do it.
starting to peel.
Yeah, that's too bad.
18 to 5. To 13 force. That's pretty bad.
Hayes is a game. Doing commentary.
So one thing that's interesting, if he tries to
13's a lot.
activate one and move Leia away,
He can't.
he
Save
can't. He
Lando.
can save his Lando.
You don't save
But-
Lando here. You just. But then you know what? But then
You can't move. He'd have to activate one
I
because you
think
got
what
to
he's
pay
gonna
plus
do-
1 to move.
He's gonna activate one, save his Lando, and then
What about
might
Leia?
get beat
the
down.
problem is that after
much?
after peeling
13.
13, how much
Can't
can you beat down Leia? Well, he does have Mara. If he just has he's Justice for the no Destiny. Draw.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
if
but
he-
it's Mara
all he
and
needs to have
Tarkin.
is save. If he can swing 2, draw a good
Mark
Destiny.
Tarkin is a lot. They have to move away from them.
He can't. He
He's-
doesn't have enough force.
He got a Hoochie command?
Mm-mm.
No.
He used it already.
Oh, it looks like he's got an. Oh no! Stop peeling. Stop! Don't do it to me. I'm having flashbacks to last night.
So it hardly matters. So
ripped that?
Yeah, who farted? Somebody farted.
Fire?
It's.
it's not good. I didn't do it. That's disgusting.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Everybody likes to do things or run their mouth on
We
the
have some-
internet,
we
and
have
nobody
some-
owns it.
We have some
Nobody ever
controversy in the
owns it.
booth, guys.
At least I own my stuff.
Someone Smelt it.
I did not dealt.
It's only one card in hand. I don't think there's only one card in hand. So one thing
I
that
have-
Tom,
you're the new-
one
you're
thing
the
that Tom
newcomer to
Kelly
the
does
room.
You
is
are eating a salad.
I am eating salad.
Very.
it's not
fibrous.
16 battle damage. There's power +1 from the system, and heat trooper is solid. So it's
Oh, I guess I.
power
forgot about
5 to 18. So 13.
that. Yeah.
It's 13. Yes. Try
Maybe reactions, his sense of
Rhythmuse.
sensed.
No, he
No, he
like,
just
did
said
it
that.
early on. Early on, there was some sack, but
He kind of did get screwed on the Destiny draws there.
His drew low.
He drew two
he's drew
senses.
2 3s.
Yeah, but when you play
his Destiny's
Force
not, that,
senses-
Destiny's not that great.
Two
Period.
controls.
2 controls and however many
He was
alters.
activating a force, and
If he tries to move and they let him, I'm gonna run in the other room and
no,
stop that.
no, I'll just text Phil.
It's active judging, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the judge might miss it.
I think
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
will have it.
That's what I mean. You can
Tom knows.
I can
Oh,
do
Tom
whatever I
knows.
want.
Tom
Let the
knows.
judge know.
Tom's played
You
this
know
deck
that.
10,000 times. He knows.
I think he's
Moving
I think he's doing that for Lando. Move Leia away.
Leia got buried last turn.
No, but like.
Oh,
No,
'cause
Leia's
it's
There he goes.
Yeah.
He points it out.
Oh wow, oh wow,
Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you?
wow. Okay, so
I think he could hear me.
that's interesting. That's interesting gamesmanship there, because
He
clearly
tried
He
people
tried
know.
to. You know that. You
Right.
know he tried to game him.
So
I think there's so
there's
many
not
cards.
many cards left though. I think the problem here is that
You're looking at top 4 to get one, then battle.
looking at top 4 to get one battle, swing, draw destiny, and if he has another guy, if it's like
Get
guy
2
trooper
destiny.
assaults, he does evac control. It's
not
evac control.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I know there's one guy who's a leader.
He does get the scry. Min, baby. Oh, Vader.
Vader's
I don't know how much he activated.
Min, why min?
He's just high power, cheap deploy.
Well, not just occupation. I mean, what's Hayes gonna do after he's gonna peel 10 or so cards here in the occupations, and then
Yeah, but don't you go for the beatdown on Leia?
yeah,
right
he
now?
can still do it though. He's still 10 to 3. He's gonna hit. So he has a guy in his hand. I think he takes the occupation, plays the occupation, drains from the system, doesn't let Leia do her thing, and then just says, "Here, this is what I got. What do you got?"
I think
Yeah,
you're,
yeah,
I think
kind
you're
of
right.
system now.
That, that's why we are back to me being the only non-world
DDM says
champion
he
in this
was-
room.
I
Rooting
disagree.
for
I
Emo.
think you go with the beatdown.
I guess it depends on how many cards are in his life force.
You think you go for like the whole like Vader?
you go to win the game right now.
I guess the
I
fact
don't know
that
if he has
can,
enough force to deploy
he can
Vader in
next
battle, though.
next turn do like occupation. I
So
guess
it depends how much Hayes has left.
it seems like Hayes has a lot.
So
of
he's
cards.
gonna.
like
So,
20.
but listen to it. You're gonna occupation for
How can
2,
you tell? It's on TV.
and instead of beating him down for
Emails
8
has
or
counted
9.
a vertical card pile. He just got here and was
No, he did
counted,
that to me.
Are you
yesterday.
counted
Superman?
that pile.
And I just didn't know it?
It was
Hayes
the
with
most
Hayes
bullshit
with
thing.
2
It's like,
Landos.
How many
two
cards do you have
Leias.
left? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you have 14. And then I counted and it was 14. I was like, what the?
Screw you, man.
That's like
You're in my head.
round 1 when Chu was playing
So it looks
Salucci. He
like-
tracked 9 cards
It looks
through
like
Salucci's
Tom
deck
has
and was
about
calling his
6
destinies.
cards.
Dude's mind was blown.
Emil, do you
What-
know who's winning the Bastion?
What
video
is
No,
going
he
on
just came
here?
back from lunch.
Why is there only one pile?
For what?
game? For who?
Oh, that's his. He's still resolving his tunnel vision. Okay. I always thought that was his hand. So I don't know what Tom's hand is like. One thing I was saying is Tom is the king of losing from reserve deck because I wants to be able to play cards from hand. So
Oh,
in
there's
that
a-
in that
It
beatdown,
just
Yeah.
keeps peeling.
can we get a pronunciation for Emil's name?
Emil.
Emil. Much like the rapper Eminem,
Which I'm not playing.
the famous American. Did he trooper assault? No.
No,
No.
he hit him.
Hit
What did he
him.
take with the...
He did not take occupation.
He didn't take occupation, and he didn't take...
Did he take Tarkin's Bounty? Has Tarkin's Bounty been out this whole game?
If he took Tarkin's bounty, I'm going to be very disappointed.
After you kill Leia? I think what's happening is maybe he wants his Gix, which seems really bad. He took the
Oh,
dude.
and
Okay.
there's the one. Oh, he can redraw.
Tarkin
No,
No,
he
he
played
can't. He
it,
took.
yeah.
Well,
He didn't draw
just
one,
won
too.
So it's 8. It's not even that much. What did Hayes draw?
A 1.
They both drew ones.
Oh wow. So
Could you imagine if he had drawn one of those 5s there?
So it's 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's Leia and 10.
That's so much better than taking the occupation, man.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but he didn't even take it. He took bounty.
But then Bounty got Barrack.
Should've-
That's only +3. I
Should
don't
have
know.
fucking
Occupation
taken
seems-
Vader. because that's 6 more
Should have
power.
taken Vader.
Yeah, and you
He
didn't.
should have
Then you don't draw it for
definitely
Destiny.
Yeah,
Definitely should have taken the Vader. Absolutely.
No, he might not have had enough force activated to take Vader. That's the thing.
Yeah, we don't know
That's
what's
fair.
how.
In
low
which case,
Tom
you
is.
take Min.
In which
Like,
case,
you
you
deploy-
take Min.
You deploy power 5.
What are we doing here, guys? Come on.
He basically took a card to get another card, so he lost a card.
I will say this. I
Not
think
more
that
card.
I agree.
the Saber's gone. I think that
Cold day in hell.
I think
Like
that
7
the
rounds.
life that the way that this game is gone is it's going to put a lot of pressure on the second game to be the deciding game.
Definitely.
I mean, the fact that both players have taken overflow of +10
And usually OA is favored in the Agents
Agents
matchup.
matchup. I was able to beat it with a program trap on 3 liters with Sam Wessel, which
Yeah.
caused 6 damage, and won by 13.
Did you track that for 4 turns?
No, I got a little lucky.
I hate program trap.
Yeah. Oh, so Hayes is still losing
Most
cards.
people do. How is the solution?
Now-
Power
We still got a 4-hour
9,
drive
12,
home,
13,
5-hour drive home.
14.
It's only 2. This is fun. This
This
is the most
is-
fun I've had all weekend.
This is the most fun
Hands
I've had all
down.
week. Absolutely.
When I did commentary at the NPC last year, it was the best NPC I ever did.
Like,
Yeah, it's
part of me
just-
wants to
this is
just
fun.
like stay and like watch Johnny win and fucking open bottles tonight. Crown the goat. Matt Sokol says it's already him.
Justin, I'm
Ma-
gonna
Matt
play your
Sokol-
ego.
Matt
It is
Sokol's
him.
biased. There's
I'm
no
biased.
way.
No, I don't. I think Johnny is certainly the number one candidate for 100%. I think it's okay to have the barbershop discussion right now. If Johnny wins his third, the barbershop discussion just doesn't make any sense.
That's
It's
true.
just Johnny.
Absolutely.
I
It's
think
just
now
Johnny.
it's like you get to be like, oh, Johnny can be Jordan, sure.
But is Justin LeBron?
I don't think I'm LeBron. I might just be Kobe Bryant. I don't know who
Larry
Brian
Bird, Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird played for like 11 years.
Larry Bird was really good.
He was. And how would you ever suggest
So-
that he was somebody that got AIDS?
One thing I would say about this part of the game that gets really awkward for Throne Room is Darkseid's lost a ton of guys, and he just gets to retrieve one.
Yeah.
And it becomes really awkward
He's
where
not
you
doing
think
anything.
where you think that you've got the game won, and you don't. Like you think that like your card should be better, and you don't.
Did he ever get an 11 hand to get Leia back and try to do it again?
One of the bartenders at work just texted me that.
Do what again?
Get Leia out to cancel drain?
Oh,
He has Tarkin's
that's
bounty.
funny.
One of the bartenders at the
canceled
restaurant.
For one.
No, it's for
No, I pay
everything.
attention to you.
Tarkin's
No.
bounty is global.
For all of them. Okay, I thought it was just for one of them.
No.
One of the bartenders at the restaurant
I
just
have
texted
to
me. "Is
use
this
the
your
bathroom.
card?"
Why don't you grab a chair? And then we'll spread out. I'm gonna
Yeah,
use the
sit
bathroom.
down, buddy. You gonna peep Choose game while you're up there?
No.
Okay.
Choose gonna dominate Bastion. That's not a fair fight.
Like he had enough force to take Vader and Bal. I think you are correct, Tyrith. In that case, he probably should have taken Min. But what do I know?
He still has a good amount of force left.
You can't use Leia because of Tarkin's bounty.
Fuck, all these cards do so much stuff.
Hey, don't swear.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. So he just Jedi left for Rey.
That seems good. Ray will get a guy.
But who do you go fight?
I mean, he could get Luke. He could get Luke and clash
I don't
the
think any
Emperor.
He didn't have Luke in hand.
Yeah, but if he
He
raised...
lost
Did
his
have
saber.
Leather, Yeah.
Oh, did he? That's big then. I just don't understand why you take Tarkin's bounty to get another card just to play that card. At that point, you take the occupation.
Absolutely. You're doing 4 damage, 3 damage on occupation. You're already killing Leia.
He's got to move some of those guys down off the ship. Like, they're just wasting up there.
I
Yeah,
think
you
he
got
went
like 4
late
cards
game.
in hand. It could be attentive, Anakin and Padme, and just clear the ship if you move.
He
one or
doesn't
two
play any
down.
space, though. He's
He
verified,
should,
I guess.
He should know it. Well, their teammate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he should know.
Yeah, maybe you're right. There's the
There's
Anakin. You should be allowed to play Anakin and Hitco. The deck would be like. so much better.
be too good then. That's the only reason I don't like Hiko. Yeah. Gotta give up Anakin. it's not anybody else. Just Anakin.
Yeah, Qui-Gon.
Who cares about Qui?
No, I do. Until
You
he
got
dies.
some poker
Until he
chips in
dies.
your pocket? I hear that jingling as you walking in.
Jingle. I'm starving.
You're hungry.
All right. So what's going on? Hayes is touching some stormtroopers.
I took Yara left for Rey
Bastion
back
won by
into hand.
15.
And deploy
Really?
her.
Bastion by 15. What side?
Bastion was playing light.
Interesting.
The Watch Your Step beat the deal.
Wow.
He overflowed for 10 in one battle and then overflowed again.
Wow. Okay, so
Wow.
Johnny Chu lost to Bastion in pretty big upset.
By 15,
Brian
yeah.
Mishka could be considered the Steph Curry of Star Wars. No, absolutely
Steph Curry?
Do you even know who Steph Curry is?
No.
not. Steph Curry's a very good basketball player.
Is he
okay,
though?
talk about
Really that good?
He's pretty good.
Steph Curry's pretty good.
He's like the third best player on that team.
So he's like the third best player in the league?
Can you use Leia again if
He's
you
pretty
redeploy
good.
him? No. One thing
That's
with
why I hate
Leia.
basketball.
Okay, so Ray I think is one of the best cards
I don't even wanna watch
against
this game anymore.
IE because of
Depressed with Johnny losing.
because
Yeah.
of is that
I get more
Run
upset when my
Run,
friends
Luke,
lose than
run.
when I lose.
Run Luke Run?
But there's no Luke.
Yeah, there's no
no
Luke
Luke.
on table. Setting up for
Track to
turn
6
later.
maybe?
I wonder how many Luke Space plays. I wonder if it's not the full 5.
Maybe he cut a Luke last minute for an extra
Oh,
sense.
He has.
No
How does he
one.
have so many characters in this game?
That's his use pile.
That's his use pile.
He's still
Yeah,
Ray.
and
Yeah,
his three
you
cards.
played Ray and looking for a card.
He's probably trying to take 2.
I still think that
Excuse you.
European
What?
Heat.
What did you even say? I didn't hear what you said.
He said,
It's not what
"Excuse
you said, it's what
because
you did.
you're-
What did I do? I lifted my
Oh,
chair.
is that the chair?
Yeah.
Blaming it on
I
that.
thought you were ripping it.
You'll
ripping it
notice.
apart.
You'll notice later if I did or did not. Right? I just had engine.
Well,
Rescue
Ross
from
walked in
Anakin.
here 5 minutes ago.
Rescue
So
from
let's just say
ripped
Ross
his ass
came
and
in
walked
eating
away.
his salad and then
Farted.
and then
And
left.
then left.
we know what happened here.
He's a doctor trying to stay healthy. Eating salads and farting.
He wanted to leave a little something behind for us.
Absurd. So Ray's coming down.
Going to battle.
So one thing that
Why would he
happens.
battle there?
No, he hasn't battled.
But why would
he?
you
Because he's
can't
probably
you
gonna
can't
play
just put
another
Ray
guy.
there.
So he could be trying to flip him back. The problem with flipping him
Oh,
back is like
Ray.
usually flipping him back is the big thing is that a second class? Occupation. The fact that Occupation has not come out is crazy. I think even though he took Bursk and Tarkin's Bounty, I feel like the Occupation Bursk was +3 on the beatdown, and Occupation is
Yeah, you're
3 or 4.
100%.
But
You
then
shouldn't have taken Bursk.
each time, or you should have either went for like the big beatdown, or you should have went for.
Occupation, absolutely. And he nets himself down a card by taking bounty,
Bounty.
take
It's
another
-2,
card.
and he doesn't have much left.
Yeah.
He needs to stay flipped here. I mean,
See Kim.
bye Kim. Thanks for help. So he's just like, is this his used pile? This is
Did you
lost?
guys just play one clash yesterday?
We actually cut Clash.
You don't play Clash at all?
No.
All the
The
decks
deck that
playing,
Johnny, the throne room that Johnny and I played was much different than Hayes' throne room. It was like all about the Black Sun matchup was all about taking the system. So we had 3 ships and we had Rebel Flight Suit for like finalizer decks, and we would just stack one site. So it was a different approach to throne room.
Obi-Wan should come down, right?
Obi-Wan and Clash. I think Obi-Wan was in his used pile, right?
No, I think he took Obi-Wan using Ray, right?
Okay, so he took Obi-Wan.
Paying 5 now
Let's see what
for
you took
Obi-Wan.
But it's not gonna really
I'll just
matter
do it
too
all
much.
A million maker. Because we do it in regular league, so like try to be a little.
That's just it.
Oh, he can
Yeah, there's
flip.
no Obi-Wan.
He can flip back.
Casey's defense is awful though.
Yeah, we gotta play
Blue
one
Rose
more
is awful.
character.
No, he can kill everyone there and then move one guy. Oh no, because
This
one guy
isn't
will
looking
die.
good for you.
Move one guy.
That's fine.
You can kill everyone there and move
Yeah, we
Lando.
got like
Or
Wonder how
2
much-
force left.
My
Place
dad's
2
defense
to move.
you can pay 2 to move Lando and place Lando out of play and flip him back. It's pretty good when he doesn't have occupation. Ooh, draws 1. 1 misses the swing.
Oh man,
Vindication!
that's not
Steve,
good.
Steve is saying that Vindication because Hayes is playing a deck with a lot of low destinies, and it's drawn high this game.
If it
Can
looks
fall
like a
down.
duck and it quacks like a duck, it must be a duck.
Oh boy, so this is something because the thing is Tom doesn't have that many cards left.
Tuna and about
10,
So how
11
many does
life
Hayes
force.
have left?
Baltimore.
Not
Oh,
that
look at
much.
that.
Close to
Baltimore
20,
Browns.
not
up.
20
That's
anymore.
Pretty good. Only got 9
So
right
Ray's gonna
now.
die.
Miami, Cincinnati.
He doesn't progress his game plan though.
We're gonna take the
He
over.
really
That's
should have
not
taken
looking good.
occupation. It would be
Are they? Wow.
really good.
Definitely.
Buffalo's looking good. Seattle, Dallas, Washington's also
Tom
good.
only lose 1 trooper now.
Who did he
Tom
lose?
loses a trooper, or he loses Pete.
He hasn't lost anybody yet, right?
No.
Yep.
Considering. Yeah,
The Cowboys. Oh, Cowboys are when? Thursday? Monday? Oh, Monday. No, that's tonight. All right. Oh, the Jets are beating up the Cowboys.
It's interesting to see this because I always assumed that Throne Room won this game.
So,
You know what they say when you assume?
so Matt, 2 years ago in the NPC when they made this deck, Team Unemployment made this deck, and I was matched up against Tom in the top 4, knowing that I was going to have to play against it. We created the first
The
version
Jakku
of the
mains.
Jakku main, which absolutely destroys it because you activate like 8, they go second. You go second, so you don't get the Emperor, and like you just sit there, do nothing, and it feeds you into the best game plan, which is having 12 cards in hand and 20 cards in your force pile, and they do a bunch of stuff, and you just go, okay, kill this, kill this, kill this, cancel your barrier, do this, and then you flip them back. I think preventing them from flipping is what Throne Room guides you into, and that's not what works. Like the turn where he went Luke to Obi-Wan to Palpatine without the saber was an awful turn for Hayes. He should have just drawn 4 and said, go.
Because even if he overflows him for 4 or 5 there, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You just wasted
Without
a
the
turn.
saber. I mean, with the saber, I think it's reasonable.
Yeah. But no, I'm
especially
saying like
sense
he
for the
could,
barrier,
if
but,
he
like,
he's 6 power to the 4 plus 1. I guess the plus 1's negated, but he could draw better and like.
Man,
make
what
him
if he
top
draws a
deck.
1 and the other guy draws a 6? And
Yeah.
you lose 7 force, and, or 6.
I mean, it was,
6
it
force. in
was
your force
definitely
pile.
an amateur move, but
Oh, so now the drains are coming. I mean, I wonder. I really want to know how much life force Hayes has. How much does he have? You know.
18.
I mean, that's still a sight in this deck somehow.
Tom has
There's-
like 10, yeah.
And there is an occupation. Oh no, there's not an occupation.
He's verifying in opponent turn, right?
Yeah. So Tom went to search for Force Lightning.
Okay, gotcha. Force lightning, gotcha. He did that against me several times too. There's a party in the hotel right now.
'cause they know Tom Kelly's gonna win.
So I will say this: I like if I was playing OA versus Agents, I would rather be on the OA side of things. Ema, what do you think?
I'd rather be all that
Yeah.
every day.
I was able to beat Tom with Black Sun, but I think that Old Allies is pretty advantaged.
It's just
Although-
weird how much Jump changes the game because like people, I used to think like Agents just rolled it and then you just play
Although-
Jump and they
The
iron
thing
out
is,
the decks.
the
and
thing is
strategy.
that against Tom, he played the Falcon on the ground the entire game, which I don't think is the right
No,
thing to do
no,
at all.
you have
So if
to turn and
Tom's
get it
not
out.
aware of that game plan, I think.
Someone maybe should tell him.
You have to get the Falcon on
I'll
space.
take the
You can
honors.
drain for 2.
Drain for 2, yeah, that drain.
And you separate Ray from
Yeah.
Harm.
Right.
Or
For a
Hernando,
minute.
and you put Ray in a speeder if you can.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
If you have delayed interrupt, I can take care of
Yeah.
myself. You don't
So
need,
Email and I are completely on the same page with the game plan against Agents. The Agents beats OA when OA doesn't have enough
I don't
damage.
wish for the lady.
Like stacking both systems is a way to win that matchup by 20. As light side, Corvette at Corellia or at Coruscant.
Yeah, depends a bit on what you're running, but running Gold Leader, Attentive,
Tom, it looked like
Profanity.
Tom had 2 Corvettes and Rogue One.
2
only.
Corvettes? That's
Well,
crazy.
No, Tana did.
Oh, yeah.
Attentive and
Did not have. He had
Iowa.
Wedge on the ground, which I think is not good. I think you want to play Wedge and Red Squadron 1 in this match.
Yeah, but you could also throw Wedge upstairs and just
True,
cancel.
and he has Rogue One, which has
Yeah.
the auto cancel.
Enemy less than 6.
Yeah, so just
It's
taking
not
that
bad.
system with Corn or just any 4 ability pilot.
You could go pull Wedge, Rogue One to Coruscant.
Uh-oh.
I can never do that as
Maybe
well as
1-1-1
TJ.
with Ray.
So this is interesting. Tom
He
Hayes
can
has no
flash
long
now.
does not have Justice anymore. He's battling,
Uh-oh.
and that is going
Yeah,
to be
but
2
that's-
destinies.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he only had one in
I think this is pretty
one
good.
in Resort deck,
Yeah,
right?
but he has to forfeit.
No, it looks like there's two.
No, this is overflow. This is
Uh,
14 to 5.
10, 14,
So it's 2 Destiny to 1 Destiny,
and
basically.
he's 13. But you only have one in reserve deck, right?
No, he has 2.
He definitely has. I bet he has 3.
That's
then.
not one card, you mean.
Oh.
What are you? What's happening?
He's pointing to the
Oh yeah, so his,
Emerald's order.
his guys are defensive 4. Is it +1 or plus?
It doesn't look.
Plus
it
two.
matters.
2
He-
from the other
oh,
one.
4-1.
But him-
Oh, he still hits
the other
him.
one, but he's not a leader.
It doesn't really matter though.
Did he
because-
trooper
he's a
assault? I
private,
missed it.
what?
I didn't
He
see
did
the
not.
troopers.
Did he trooper assault,
Before,
chat?
yeah,
I don't
he
think
just
so.
about hit him.
Oh, what just happened?
He probably searched for like Boston Nats or
Search
something.
for Boston.
Yeah.
Oh
His
man,
two
if
sabers.
he draws that 0,
Because I think he knew he had to 1-1 in a row there.
Yeah,
He's not-
he got the
he's
1-1
not
in
that
the last
good.
battle.
Wow.
There.
So Hayes searches reserve deck and saw that there's the Hoth Docking Bay in there, which is kind of absurd considering it's turn 5 or 7 or 12.
Yeah, and he-
Hey, that
he lost
sounds
the
just like
first
all of our
round.
playtesting games on Thursday.
He draws it here. So
I did that many times.
Davin Felf, is that is Dan Zinn, whatever his name is?
Drazen.
Drazen is. So that's
he's
13
gonna
power
make
to
a special
5.
delivery.
We'll see what happens.
2, 10, 12, 13. It's a lot of shopping going on. Like, Tom can't keep one guy alone there. Right?
You get shuttle up.
No,
He has no force.
His commander.
So we
Mm,
do
6.
6,
And he drew
5,
5.
10. Yeah. So
He gets 1 overflow, right?
It's 11 till 13.
I mean, he can just
19
lose both
till-
guys.
Yeah, it's
He can. They are forfeit 5, but he can poop the.
Yeah, he just,
garrison.
yeah. Everyone
Yeah,
wants
he
to
can do that. But that's not. He can get flipped back now. He really needed occupation.
It's crazy he's played this entire game with no occupation.
Yeah.
Keep. Yeah.
I wonder how much Hayes has left. You think Hayes has 20 left? There's no way.
A little less now, maybe.
Looks like it's. I would assume maybe a win by Hayes in the top in the 15s.
Maybe.
If
Why
Hayes
didn't
has
he
a
place the other guy
now-
out of play?
If Hayes has a guy.
Looks like he's got Cornhorn in hand, which doesn't do anything.
if he had Cornhorn,
He deploy in battle.
yeah, he battles, clears Piet, moves a guy over in front of the other two, flips him back.
Yeah, but he's still not doing any damage.
But neither is Tom at all.
He's draining for
One.
One.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't do it. You're right. He's still got guys he can move down. Like, he's going to have to move down now.
That is corn. Is that corn?
It looked like it was. Cornhorn and Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they're
can't play.
bumping. You throw a lot of raids over in here? Do the glow stick thing?
I don't do it.
No.
A lot of people do. Glow stick, little ecstasy on your lip or whatever. And you wait for 28 hours straight.
Sounds like you know it from experience.
Yeah.
Never.
Looks like it was just regular side with the mess and
Did more than
speak.
2 overflow.
2 overflow.
And over 1, he kept clashing coin in hand.
Does that guy move for? Mara moves for free.
Because
The Emperor's out.
Emperor's out.
That
That's
is
dirty.
dirty.
So does Tarkin draw on his own?
Yes.
That's cool.
So
That's pretty sweet.
Can't
Corrin doesn't
flip
do
him
anything.
back anymore. That was
Corrin could battle Tarkin, and if
Kill
Tarkin
him.
draws low,
draws a
He
2.
activated
yeah.
13, kept 1 or 2 in reserve deck, it's down to 14 or 15, and now 2 cards in hand.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That Mara play was huge. So Mara Jade moving for free was absolutely huge. Huge.
You got to say this about Tommy. Knows his decks.
He knows his decks.
Knows them well.
And that was with Matt Wadden too, like not, the most skilled player, but knew his decks clearly, like knew every card and
Who's that?
That was the guy who made top 8. Probably
Oh,
one of the Matt
Wadden.
Wadden.
Because you played him.
I played him and
He
we
beat-
split games, and he split games with Hayes, so he knew his ISB deck like really, really well. You could tell.
Yeah, I lost a game to him at Texas Mini Worlds 2 years ago. That was the first time I played against Invasion.
Play first time.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I do too.
It's like, I don't think it's just mindless. go through the motions, like something to do.
Hayes
like,
has
take your
about
mind off things.
17 left. Looks like Tom maybe has about
No.
10 left.
You want me to, I'm gonna go check.
Matt's doing a check on checks, and also maybe do a check on the Johnny Bastion game, see how that looks. The other matchup for Johnny Bastion is Throne Room versus Agents.
He got Black Sun.
Black Sun.
Who was Black Sun? Oh.
Bastion has Black Sun, Johnny with Throne Room in a matchup that Johnny won by a lot yesterday. But
15 is a lot.
He needs to do it again.
and he's going to need to
more
do
than
it
15.
again.
Or 15 and last.
And that's tough with agents knowing that they can just spread out,
Really conservative.
or they can spread out in shadows, ping, ping, and rely on barriers and kicks and stuff. This game is slowed down to a snail's pace.
Oh my god. We could have been home by now. Hayes still would be activating on turn 3.
Hayes has about 13, and Kelly has like 7 or 8. And Chu just started.
Okay. Jeez. I hear Chu laughing, which is a good sign.
Hayes got 14.
He says
Two in hand.
14.
1 in hand now.
So Corn.
Carson and Corn died.
That's fine. That doesn't do it. I mean, where's occupation for crying out loud?
Who did he play Corn?
Get Corn down.
And Mara can like move again next turn, and like he can shuttle guys down. I think I'm shocked that these guys have been in space. Against me, he very end of the game he shuttled with no pilots.
Yeah, I think that's what he asked to at this
And I
point.
could have had like Profundity and like a Hera, but I didn't. Like I would have needed like 10 cards left. I would have needed that. But
Double Anakin.
Double A, it's great. I think it's the free battle's really good text.
What, dude? I like Double Anakin.
Yeah, we probably had too much.
I'm gonna sleep well on the car ride home. No,
What?
I'm gonna try to stay up.
No, that's fine. You can sleep.
I'll drive if you want.
How'd your ISP do yesterday?
Just 3 and 1.
3 and 1 with a timed loss.
What'd you lose to?
He didn't really lose, though.
I did.
It was like he was doing
90
6
more
damage, and the
seconds.
guy was doing 2 more damage.
I was doing 4. He was doing 2. I was retrieving 1, and it's just. And then I destroyed 2 other OAs yesterday.
I'm gonna lose my wedding ring.
That's fine. It's not that important.
Matt Sokol is losing his wedding ring.
Get the other guy to look for mine this morning when I went down here, but I couldn't find it.
Emo Wallen has lost his wedding ring. The PC does not endorse the use of vaping.
Who do you guys think's gonna win this now at this point?
They're taking a bathroom break right now.
Are you kidding me?
This is the slowest game of all time. Phil Asen also.
Whose idea was that?
A fast player.
Tom requested it.
Oh, okay.
Phil Asen, one of the faster
Still.
players. Not on the Justin Aside Johnny Chu fast level, but
I'm working on it.
working
Hey,
on it.
I'll get there.
for what it's worth, I did say you were the only person on your team that I liked.
This is true. He's made it. Phil should join team employment.
You
Remember
can
I posted
join
welcome to the
Team
European.
Who was on your team this year? Who was your? It was Kelly, you, Olson.
So the team 5 members, the official roster.
Do you call yourself the
Five?
Team
Sure.
5?
It was the playtesting team names, like they had numbered playtesting teams, I guess, and the online team was team 5. So the roster is
Interesting.
Hayes, Tom Kelly, Joe Olson, Kyle Kruger, Phil Lawson, Steve Salucci, Ross Lidauer, Cal Aldred,
Ross shouldn't be in the team either.
Crypto,
Also has a job.
okay, Zamu Squara from Europe.
Yeah,
That's 9.
That's a lot of people. That's more than 5, man.
I think that's the active guys.
Would you guys watch Gemp games and try to get deck lists?
That was an awful long pause.
Right down.
I didn't.
He's like, I don't know what the
I watched
politic.
tons of games.
I don't know what the politically correct response is right now.
People like respond.
But
ask,
no.
Yeah, like people like see games and ask that.
I was in the gym with Squee at the time. I know nothing.
I have these calendars.
Wait,
It's
what
funny
day of
'cause I
the
would
week was
see,
that on?
like,
Yeah.
people were watching games for a lot longer than they definitely needed to. Not against me, but against
Yeah.
other
Like,
players.
just-
They
still
also, I think they probably do the same thing I do sometimes, which is like I'll log in, see what games look interesting. Like, oh, 4, and I'll just like open all the tabs.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I just
you
kind of
do that.
bounce around.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you can do that.
Wow.
So.
My connection is too crappy at home to be able to have like 5. But at work, I do it at work. I have 3 monitors.
Looks like they're back from their
Two
bathroom
open.
break. Maybe.
Glance over,
Who do you think's
writing
gonna
an
win?
email.
What do you do
Sometimes
for
I have it
work?
going on my phone and it doesn't seem to be a
I
problem.
watch Gemp games.
Do you?
Who do you think's gonna win?
This game?
I'm a network technician.
It's really
weird.
It's really yeah.
Fiber
It's a
build
strange
out
game.
infrastructure, internet.
I don't think either guy is
Oh,
gonna
wow.
win by
When I do my
much.
office
You like
hours
that?
work, I load up jump games too.
No, they both made
I'll
some
watch
mistakes.
I'm
Like,
not taking my
well, like
Just to
the
see.
lack
I
of
mean,
lightsaber,
I
he's
have
just
to
literally
multitask.
forgot to pull it.
I can't just do one thing. I can't just
Oh,
write an
That first game?
It's
Like,
80
battle
it's
the
a-
Emperor?
Yeah, when he played
video,
the
like,
Active
I'm the
Shooter,
same
yeah.
way.
My college, I got
And then
sent
like
down,
he got so
like,
excited on stacking the weird
Are you
pieces, he's
listening
like,
to me?
yeah,
Yeah.
pull the saber.
Keep talking. I'm writing that.
That's amazing.
So they both have a couple of things.
So Phil
Yeah.
Eason informs us that Hayes, when he played Luke to the Emperor, battled, and then said, "Wow, I forgot to pull the saber," and it was in his reserve deck.
Shut up.
No.
So
This is the top 4.
we're dealing with
What the
some stuff
what?
here.
Even I'm not that bad.
What?
So some stuff is going on. All right, looks
Great
like
contributions, Phil.
Phil,
Much
great job.
appreciated.
Have no.
So catching us up, looks like Tom's gonna do the other 3, chip away. I wonder if no, it didn't look like Hayes paid to drain. At this stage in the game, I feel like either both players should be trying to inch out every life force they can from the opponent.
So the
Yeah.
I agree.
This is no longer winning the game.
If
This
it
is,
takes
this
them
is
down to
squeezing.
4
This
instead
is
of 10.
squeezing damage.
It's so much better for the match too.
Yeah, especially given the fact that Agents versus OA is rarely a blowout. That
No,
that
that's
differential is
why
going to matter a lot.
around 10 for
10 to 15 for both sides when they win. Cards like Rose will be important. Steve, we should go Capitol Grill tonight. We won the $115. We won $100 in the Pats.
Stop it. Stop in Stanford and just CG
If
it.
Johnny wins the thing, we get thirds of that. Stop in CT and do it. Then you have to drive after eating that giant meal.
Okay. Whatever you want to do, my friend. I just want to be home in my own bed. Or your bed. Your spare room.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like,
Pardon me.
whose bed do you want to be in?
I do not want to sleep in a hotel
PC
bed again.
does not endorse.
Way too
These
much
statements.
information.
So Hayes is placing Walkling out of play to retrieve, let the run Luke run.
So now, Johnny, stay with you. You guys doubling up, huh? Is that?
Okay, so
We
turn
did last
44.
Here's the
Well,
occupation.
Chew and Justin ate first.
Occupation is out.
Dude, when
We're
Team
equal-
Albany goes, we put 4 people in a room. Like I slept next to Joe.
I mean, we've been doing it-
Ryan.
Shuttle down again.
We've been doing it our entire lives.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So
I don't have to say-
Chu,
never
I
mind.
think, is
Yeah,
setting up.
yeah.
First time I took a road trip.
Chu
with
is
my
setting
high
up.
school friends. I was like,
Retrieving
you
trooper.
not-
know, the bed.
right.
Yeah.
Share bed. And they're like,
Tom is setting
what?
up
Yeah.
I'm like,
what he
That's
should have
what
set
I-
up on turn 2,
Yeah.
ideally. This is the
'Cause we're
turn
used
2
to
or
it,
3
you know?
Oh,
setup.
yeah.
All right.
And it's turn 9, and it's finally happening. But, ooh, is he going to remember to retrieve a
You should
trooper?
retrieve a trooper.
Yeah, he will
Yeah,
remember.
he's
He
gonna-
knows what he's doing with that
He did.
stuff. Oh, he's
It's
retrieving on
in
the
the draw
last
phase,
card.
right? You-
So he
you
has a
can draw a
4.
card
He has
first.
a 4 in the top.
So
one of them-
is that the death knell right there? You're done with the occupation now.
Well, he played it. He
No, I
played it
mean,
now.
are we now ready to say that Kelly probably is going to win? Is
It's,
that the?
I mean, Hayes has one
I
card
mean,
in hand.
at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the next
well,
game,
no,
I think.
because Hayes has Qui-Gon in hand.
One card in
but that
hand,
doesn't do
you can
anything.
Deploy him, battle.
Doesn't do anything.
The Marriott could be hurt.
Yeah,
Does he have enough to deploy and battle and swing?
I think so.
Looks like he
Uh,
has
Matt
about
Sokol and
9 or 10 left.
and Steve Baroni are collaborating on an online game, not endorsed by the Hearthstone online gaming. Oh, it is endorsed because that's what people do with online games. They collaborate.
Wow, look at you, bro.
Hey, that was all you, man. You played for me.
That's not true.
He plays for you?
Too soon?
Matt is
Yeah,
leaning over
perfect.
and watching Steve play,
You nailed it.
meaning that Matt is the one who's actually playing.
Man, they're taking too long.
This
Like, how
is-
long has this game been going on?
Apologies to the chat for the drawn out game.
We could head home and then do commentary remotely by the
Yeah,
time we
so
get there.
we could do a
Yeah, we can
4.5
do it.
hour drive back to Boston, and Steve and I will be just in time to finish the finals, or maybe this game. This is
Doing a lot of overflow this game, so it's hard. It's games last so long. It's hard to remember. So, the first overflow was.
Leia was 10.
Okay, but so the first battle was a Hujax.
Dave and Felth was First battle was a
Oh,
Hujix.
Hujix.
David Felth was 13.
Yep. Hayes
And
made him feel 13.
and Luke was 10. And Leia was 10.
So there's been 3.
Phil wants to know if the glare just got worse.
No.
No.
Casey Anus again, just wanted to pop his head in here.
Casey
He
Anus.
can't stand not being in the spotlight. Yes, I know the irony of that. Crickets.
But yeah, the sounds. No one wants to respond to that.
I have no response to that.
Yeah. If that's what you think.
They never do.
Emil, you want to talk about your match against Bastion while we're waiting for Hayes to activate?
Yeah, I don't even really know what to talk about anymore.
This is
I got
brutal.
you.
So,
My game 2 was
oh,
horrible.
he
You
came
guys
in
haven't seen anything.
and Johnny's very cordial. Destiny
Well,
is okay.
that's
So
enough.
that might be game-ending beatdown, right on cue.
I'm not sure why you
Has he
moved
not
him.
played a single Gik yet this game?
No.
Oh, there.
Oh
we
wow.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right on cue.
I was
Kind of a
needed.
little out of order there with the way they did that, but I think that'll
maybe he tracked it and got it into hand using objective. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
I
only
think,
draw one
I
card.
think that moving in front of Lando.
I don't want entanglements to be in the finals of
There's
Worlds.
10 force left for Hayes, and I
And you
don't.
get
And
Damned
he's,
if you do, damned if
and
you
it's
don't.
1, 2, 3, 4,
It's not
5,
Johnny.
6
Damn
damage.
right,
So
you
this
know.
game is essentially over.
Doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And Tom can
Hayes
retrieve
drain for
force.
1. Yeah, retrieve 1. And
But if he pays through to drain, then he just gets another retrieval, so it's kind of marginal. So I feel like
But he drains
Tom's
for
gonna
2,
win by
right?
this much more.
You will drain for 2.
Tom's gonna probably win by this much, plus or minus 1 card, or minus 1 card.
I think he wins by 5.
But then it doesn't matter.
How
Then it's
did you
just
win by
agents
5?
away.
I'm tired.
Yeah,
Well, deal. I mean, the finals could end up being IE and deal as the dark side decks. We don't have an agents in the finals, which would be different.
How is Shu's game going?
I'll go
TTO
see.
today.
I need to take a walk anyway.
Email played TTO today. I played agents. Bastion and I stuck with agents for both days. I think we're the only ones. Oh, Hayes as well. And we've had good results. That site still being there is quite amazing. Are there sites in both players' decks still? Yes. Actually amazing.
Oh, he's looking to hit Lando.
Email, is there a reason you did not play agents today?
Yeah, I didn't like the TRM matchup at all. Because you have 3 battleground sides.
There's
You
the
want to be on 3
occupation.
sides to do the shadows.
Drain one, drain one, drain one. Hayes hat. There's the Hoth Docking Bay. Actual Star Wars at its finest right here.
Yeah, I didn't like the Black Sun TRM matchup because you have difficulty being on 3 battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's hard to be on 3 battlegrounds.
Because you don't.
You have to play.
TRM
you
doesn't
have to-
deploy
right.
anyone, and you have 3 of your own, and they will go to one of your
Right.
correspondent battleground. And if they go to
System.
the planet, yeah, and take it over,
If you take it over, it's really tough. That's why we played so much space.
Yeah.
But I guess they had different opinions. Because the games I beat their throne room twice yesterday just by playing a ship and a Vigo, and it seemed like it was untouchable. And then it became easy to shadows and drain.
I did get unlucky when I played yesterday where I top decked 2 ships to the first turn.
How are
in
the
game.
semis looking? This game looks like it's going to be a win for Tom by about maybe 7 or 8, and then
If Kelly wins, it's going to be by 4 or 5.
yeah,
And Johnny is just starting his game, so it's still the early stages.
early stages AOBS versus throne room.
Yep.
I think one thing to look out for that matchup is if we can get a spotter to see if Bastion plays more than one site. The games sort of go in 2 very different directions.
Yes, he's deployed all the sites,
So if he's played all the sites,
or maybe just 2.
if he's played more than one site, the game has a very different effect. But that could be that the fact that he won by 15, he wants to make sure that Shadows kicks in, the pinging and all that.
When you guys
Wear-
are
wear
testing
them down.
your agents against throne rooms,
Mhm.
I would only just deploy one site. I would
Same.
and just wait, right?
Wait, and then sometimes move away, and then sometimes copy, and then sometimes take the system. It became a little weird though when you're not activating that much.
Yeah.
So he's still a Clash of Sabers.
There's no reason to.
Battle at this point.
He's trying to keep his force.
He's trying.
He's
to
trying to
keep
win by
it-
7 instead of 5.
He's trying to keep it in such a manner that there's 0 chance he can get flipped back.
Seems
Yeah,
like
but
it's a bad matchup.
if he pays for a
He's
drain
gonna
there,
knock the
you get a
thunder
trooper
anyways.
back, right?
The
Yeah.
pre-matchup
Is,
stuff.
is it a drain of 1 or?
I think one of them, the mouse size is a drain at 2.
Well, -1 if you don't have a smuggler, right?
Oh, sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
So it's just a 1.
That one is.
So he stays there and don't block the
Looks
drain.
like he's not moving. He's saying, "Hey, movement is fine." It just came up in our game where he did a bunch of movement and wanted to take one back, and I said, "We can take that one back, but you can't take the other ones back because you've done them." So I think maybe what Tom did this time is said, "Hey, I'm gonna visually do some things, but not actually commit to them," which is probably what he's doing.
If he blocks.
Oh yeah, so Tom is visualizing right now. He's communicating. There's not actually taking actions. Yep. So that's a product of my game.
Are you guys surprised that IE and Dark Deal are like 2 of the top 4?
Well, I'm not surprised that it's people who
Yeah.
know their decks.
No,
That's
So
true.
on
Yeah.
Friday, like I played a ton of Agents online, and Johnny and Steve. I was getting nervous about playing it. Like people were gonna play Gift and hated it out or whatever, and they were basically like, you can't think that way. Like you got to play the deck you practiced. And I didn't lose a game with Agents,
Why is he
and Johnny
blocking,
lost
the
one
drain of
game
1?
with Deal, not 2 games with Deal. So like, Johnny also has not lost a game with Light Side.
The throne room.
Yeah, he's not lost a game this weekend. So. So this should be it. It should be 3 damage. And if the game goes longer, he keeps getting more and more troopers back. So.
Besides 08, what's the other bad matchup for Agents?
Well, like Emo said,
Throne
throne
room,
room if you
right?
don't have like a good reps with it.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable both sides with that. But if people are playing like 4 senses and 2 controls and
Yeah.
altar, that's really tough. 2 controls is
Yeah, I've led 2 control in OA, which is.
2 controls in.
And you have solo, you can play it again.
2 controls in throne room is somewhat psychotic. He's got the Yoda pull chain. It's not the worst. I guess you don't have to play like if you play all the senses, you don't play any of the other hate like Hear Me Baby or.
Maybe not. No.
But you can see this game, his Destiny's not that great. I think if you're doing all those low Destinies, you definitely want 3PO.
I'm not sure what they're thinking about. There's one move you can do.
Yeah, pretty obvious what the lines are.
Either you drain 2 and move together so you don't get a beat on, which doesn't matter because it kills you in
I think what he should do is drain for 2
Yeah.
and then battle
Battle.
and then lose cards.
So he doesn't
because
retrieve the
he's-
trooper.
That's what he should do.
Exactly.
He should drain for 2 and then he should just initiate a battle. And
Drain for 2 puts him down to 5.
I guess Tom
which is
could
what
not
I
draw Destiny.
thought it would be, has a 4 on top.
He's fighting. He's not fighting.
Right.
He's using 2 force to do what? Move away is bad. Move away is bad. It'd be amazing right now if Tom played Broken Concentration and retrieved his whole deck.
Yeah, it has like what 5 troopers and all.
I think a lot more than that. He only has 3 on the table, and the deck probably plays 20.
Not 20.
Not
Plays
20.
Like 12, 13.
So yeah, Broken Concentration would
Like
help
8
his diff by
cards.
7 right now, which is not bad.
He doesn't have a card in hand though. He battles.
He should
should.
battle. He certainly should battle. This is actually interesting. This is very counterintuitive. Tom's power is
He get a lightsaber who wants to hit him, but he could.
nobody wouldn't. Like Tom wouldn't draw Destiny.
No,
If
he
Tom's
could
smart.
ignore it. He's paying 2 to move over.
But he's taking
He's taking at
least
4.
4.
5. He's
5.
taking
He's
5.
taking 5. So this is bad. Hayes will be kicking himself for the 1 diff, especially if he loses the match.
Yeah, because Tom can make sure that he goes down to 1 card.
1 card and then just say,
Okay, move away.
And he's
Retrieve a
extra draw.
trooper. Your turn. Next turn I drain you. Got 2 cards now. Drain for
yeah,
1.
don't drain. Yep, he's smart.
Retrieve a
So he
trooper.
cost himself a force.
Yeah, so he's got 6 instead of 5.
So
1
Hayes,
card.
Hayes messed up by costing himself a force.
Should have battled that.
6. So 6 versus 5.
Okay, it was a
So
2-hour game.
Tom Kelly.
That was a long ass game.
We had 40 minutes to go, Bastian and I, after game 1.
Yeah.
Come on. It's not that
And
difficult.
you're
It's not that
okay.
difficult.
Let's watch the end of Chiefs game and then just leave.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Bastion, they're playing slow. Bastion has a guy at every site.
At last. I'm not sure if we're supposed to stop it. I'm gonna continue it. I think we're supposed to continue.
I think we hit end stream, to be honest. Oh no, stop recording. Everyone, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show.
So they'll be starting the second game with different. No, Angelo's not as slow. Angelo's up there. Angelo's top 3 slowest of all time, but he's not top 2. Thanks, DD. So yeah,
My game with
We're
Angelo
signing
yesterday
off.
was really quick.
I think I stopped recording, but it keeps streaming.
okay.
I think that's the goal.
Just take off. See what Chevin would shoot.
Yeah, pop over there.
Somebody will be back.
Somebody will be back.
Stick around.
No. Especially since it's not like he has to play this.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a couple minutes of break.
Yeah, I think if anybody else wants to stream, I think we're probably good at. That was so boring.
That was very long.
It just took so long to like activate.
I mean, how many forms do you have?
It's like just activate it all, bro. Activate it all. Activate all your force. Yeah, I think we're good. That was so boring. What about this? Seems like a
we just go in and take over?
I mean, I would think that there's someone here who is like actually running affairs, like taking a break because they're between games.
Okay, so
But they definitely did need.
Mhm.
Obviously, they need commentators if there's
Mhm.
no.
Mhm. Mhm. Are we on the mic right now?
Very, very possible. But yes, let's. We shouldn't reveal anything of like what's actually in there, guys.
Just talk about what's generally the archetypes, what we expect to.
Yeah, you know, I think that could happen. Like, you can talk about things like I think more you focus on like what's happening, and like if they put as many impressions you can talk about it, like at that point, if we talk about that, maybe you mention what is doing.
Maybe it's like 80-20, talk about what's happening versus like talk about what the players are gonna be looking to do.
Yeah, obviously you can talk about that stuff as long as it's like general things that like every milestone, every all things. Like lines of play, so you sort of know like that kind of stuff. But like, it's more just like feeling. You guys need commentators for the next round? Is that something?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I think me and Steven are
Yeah.
willing to do it.
Let's see. How does this work?
It's getting set up now.
Yeah. There it is.
Did Tom win by 6 or 7? Do you know?
6.
6.
Oh, okay.
We should be 5 to Hayes. There's a point of diff by not battling with the Chewy. By battling with Chewy to its stack and then losing. Because that was losing the last card of battle damage. You need to like food drain for 3 and then battle.
Tom could retrieve.
Right. Because then Tom could put him could force trade until he has a 1 card. And then he can retrieve.
It's always.
So hopefully we'll see if 5 versus 6 matters.
It's always a nightmare.
Sounds like it's cleanest to do anyway. It's just like forgot to pull us off the committee. I did think I saw that on complicated lock on. I was like, huh?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wait, I guess he just didn't. Like maybe he kept missing the pole and then he like got it into his hand and just lost it.
All right, Star Wars players, it looks like we are ready to get started with the next game. Can you guys hear me? Did I turn the audio on? Okay.
awesome sauce. This is Jedi Jer filling in for Queso, waiting for him to show up. But we have Steven Salucci about to join us here, and Cal Aldred. Wasn't sure if you were going to play. I knew you were. I just didn't know if you were going to join us. So yeah, jump in here. Setting up for game 2. Looks like, shock of shocks, agents. Yeah, sorry. Wait, should be an interesting match.
Hey, Crypto.
Let's see, hold on. We need to start the recording. So none of that was recorded. Oh, well.
Is that recording?
You could repeat some of it.
I don't know if it's recording or not. How do I know if it's recording? How do I know if it's recording?
The red circle. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, now we're recording.
Has it started yet?
Yeah, I think they just started.
Okay, are you guys cool doing this? Or you want
Yeah.
to take over? Okay, yeah. I just had some lunch and stuff, so if you guys are cool with it,
Yep.
go Star Wars. So this is the second game of the Hayes. What happened in the other match?
Yeah, so for those just tuning in, the first game, Tom won by 6. So this is game 2, it's getting started off. For the recording, we have Steven Salucci and Cal Aldred here. I'm Jedi Jer, and we're getting ready to get started with the match.
So it looks like Hayes is just starting off by he's starting Crush. It looks like from the fact that he has a Monarch combo. There, right? That is a Crush that he just took into his hand.
Yeah.
Monarch. So that he's
He is starting Crush.
It's a little off the camera. I can't quite see. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about Crush in the Old Allies matchup.
Yeah, it's really just going to be there for the hand control, which is always good. But the second function of canceling Clash of Sabers is not going to come into play.
Yeah, as opposed to starting something like Decree, where you're going to take less damage over the course of the game when you're playing your senses or you're getting characters excluded.
Right, and it does appear, speaking of which, it does appear that Hayes has Decree V in his starting hand, so that may come into play.
Okay.
And as you say that, it does affect a matchup more like this one, where it is a bit more on the side of a sort of damage race rather than battling back and forth. It can be.
Yeah, I'm just interested in Hayes' decision to start Crush over Decree, and I'm sure he has very good reasons for doing that.
Yeah, I think he just likes the hand control that much.
Just preventing Old Allies from just getting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I wouldn't expect.
It doesn't seem like a deck that typically does draw up to needs to draw up to a massive hand size to be able to.
That's right.
Because ABR you don't need to dig for the characters that you need.
Right.
Because you can just use ABR to get whichever one you need on that turn.
Right. So Hayes going through his deck, doing a verify. We're looking at some interesting cards here. Caught wind of and expand the Empire, Presence of the Force. So these are some cards that can sort of change the board and potentially swing a damage race in Hayes' favor. There's Program Trap in there, some of the traditional Black Sun stuff. I'm sure a lot that I'm missing. I didn't see what ships were in reserve. That's something that I expect Hayes to be looking for. Oh, he's got a Zuckuss and Mr. in hand, so he is ready to go to space when he does want to.
Yeah, something Old Allies really can struggle with is putting 5 ability in space, because they're especially piloting.
Right.
That can be something that's fairly difficult to do.
So Hayes does what's typical for Black Sun, pulls the free Vigo to support Shizor, and moves for free to flip turn 1, gets a peek at his force pile, and it looks like it's a pretty good one. It's got several characters in it, and a Cold Feet.
Cold Feet, Guri. The bottom cards are Cold Feet and then Guri. It looks like he's a P59. There's a character with a really short name there above that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hayes has got E3PO, Forlom, Zam.
It looks like he's just going to draw some cards here.
IG88, Fat Bounty Hunter. So he's got plenty of characters to fight, and in either theater with Zuckus and Mist Hunter. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for an attack right away on his turn 2 after Tom sets up.
Yeah, assuming Tom flies up to space with the Falcon, especially.
Yeah.
But if he with Ray plus Calrissian that is 7 ability pilot.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways for Old Allies to get 7 abilities, so it's not too bad, but they do want Ray on the ground.
Right, that the hard part is getting a 7 ability in space while Ray is on the ground.
Yeah, so usually you're going to want something like Radis or, Poe or Wedge or, some other character that you can't necessarily find right away.
Yeah, your capital starships are important to be able to get to that level because they can have more than 2 pilots and they have permanent pilot abilities.
Right.
Otherwise, you need someone like basically need Corrin or Ray or Anakin piloting on the Falcon, or you can't get to that ability. And a lot of times, those aren't the guys you want to have piloting. You want to have Poe piloting.
Oh, I see. I'm missing the fact that the Falcon only has 2 pilot slots. So yeah, that's absolutely right. So you're right about needing the extra ship and all that to deal with Zuckus.
If you want Poe piloting the Falcon, for example, then you need to have exactly Anakin. To have any amount of battle destiny.
So we're seeing Blount, Lieutenant Blount in Tom's reserve. That clearly a tech card for ISB.
Yeah, actually, I heard them talking about that last night.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Or actually, it wasn't last night. It was this morning. It was like 6 o'clock this morning.
What's the difference, right?
Yeah. When you've been up all night.
To us, it was last night.
Yeah, right. To me, it was this morning. I was up early. But yeah, ISB
was that? You were.
ISB threw a wrench into the meta of the top 8 for sure. So
pulls a sight, but it's not the Twix.
May have missed the Ray's encampment pull.
Unless it's in his hand.
Right, which it very well could be.
Oh, he looks like he's gonna rose. Might be rosing for Ray now. He is. So that means he did miss the encampment.
Missed it. That's tough.
Missed the encampment pull, which
Ouch.
So he loses a little bit of tempo right there. Slight advantage picked up by Hayes.
Yeah, because he also it also put him down a card in his hand because he had to put Rose to get Ray, which he otherwise would have just been able to pull.
So just a review of some basics. The starting effect, a Brave Resistance, is going to allow Tom to reveal a resistance character from his hand during his deploy phase to take in a hand from reserve any other resistance character. So
yeah, and it's put that card in his use pile.
And and the revealed card goes to use pile. So it's not a net card gain, but it is a card selection tool. So he does get the conventional setup with General Calrissian and Ray on the Falcon. It's just somewhat more resource intensive than usual. So not an ideal start for Tom for sure, but it is pretty much incumbent on the Old Allies player, I would think, to always flip back Black Sun on the first turn.
So Hayes should be flipped here. I'm sure he'll rectify that. Although maybe there may be something on the stack to flip Black Sun at the moment.
Sure.
Because right now it's competing automatic actions between flipping Black Sun and searching with Ray.
Yeah, so this is Steven Salucci, that's me, and we have Cal Aldred and Jeremy.
Gardner.
Gardner.
Yeah. Jedi Jer.
Jedi Jer. That's what I always call him.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls me.
Yeah.
So yeah, TB. This is game 2 of the semifinals between Hayes and Tom Kelly. As you can see, they just started, so like 5-10 minutes ago. Bastion and Chu are about some way into their game. I think it's too soon to tell who's won that, but probably should find out in about 20-30 minutes, I would imagine, or less.
We still need to resolve that. I can try to see if I can find out.
We know the first game.
Oh.
We just don't know because they're in the middle of their second game, so I just don't know how far along they are.
Yeah. Okay, I can
But
go take a look.
so yeah, still don't know who's going to be in the finals yet.
So it looks like Tom pulled the Twix out of his use pile.
Yeah.
From the use pile pull.
Really not ideal, I would think.
Not necessarily. I think Tom is a big fan because I remember because he did this against me once when we were testing because the 2 Force is just so important.
Sure, just for the Force, yeah.
Just for the Force, because you kind of get the 2 extra force on the following turn.
Sure.
But it probably also means his hand is pretty good, because if you're short on characters,
Right.
then you kind of just like need the characters and you can't. But if he needs the force, it means his hand is already likely character heavy, and he probably has.
He needs the resources to be able to get it out. So
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm curious about is whether he would have done this even if he doesn't have like a defense card for to deal with Fett on the ground already.
Yeah, so him staying on the ground means he probably has some kind of barrier or leadership or a perimeter scan. Those are all vulnerable. It's like a perimeter scan. They're all vulnerable to sense.
Right.
But pretty much even right now.
Tom is very good at figuring out what kind of things. How many card combos does he need to play around? Like, does he need like Fett plus something else plus a sense?
Right.
And at some point you just say, okay, if you have all those things, good job, you'll do well in this battle, but you can't always have that.
Yep.
So what do we got? A couple ships. Slave 1.
So we're looking at Hayes Reserve now.
Yeah. There's a location there. Probably. What is it? That.
I think he's pulling the 2-0.
Yeah, it's got to be the 2-0 because that's the only one that's not on table.
Yeah. So he's pulling the Twix.
He's using Crush the Rebellion to pull a Vader Monarch, which he 100% knows is there, having been in the use pile with the objective peak from last turn. So it's a way to guarantee that he's not going to have to show a verify of his reserve, which can be important.
Yeah,
it also means that. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that it also means he doesn't have to go down a card when on the first turn flip, which is going to happen.
Although sometimes you actually want to, like if you have 3 Emperors in your hand.
Yes, that is true. Sometimes you would like to get a 6.
Really want a way to get rid of it.
And there it is. Is he going to follow it up with an Emperor or...
It's going to be really interesting to see how Tom is able to effectively attack on Tatooine, because...
You mean Jakku?
On Coruscant.
On Coruscant, yeah.
Because Old Allies just doesn't put out enough damage by itself. A lot of times you can set up like a drain of 2 in space and drain 2 on the ground that Black Sun's going to have a hard time contesting.
Right.
But Black Sun's damage potential, especially with the pings from Shadows, is so much higher. You have to be interacting with them on Coruscant.
Well, you either have to be interacting or mitigating. Sorry to interrupt. You either have to be interacting or mitigating their damage somehow.
Right. And even with a, like, say if they're on like 3 sites in the system. Right. Even if you're reducing their drain of 2 to a drain of 1 because they have Fist and Agent.
Right.
A lot of them, even if say they don't have the Fist and an Agent or whatever, they just like have 4 drains of 1 and 2 pings.
Right. And there's none of that's getting reduced by the Old Allies objective. So another way of mitigating it could be something like projection of a Skywalker or undercover spy or some kind of loot interrupt.
There's the Emperor.
And it did. Let's see if so Tom did pull the Goldenrod shield, and it looks like he's shield busted unless he used a puller for one of those. He's got grabber.
I can't imagine that Tom is playing a perimeter scan to get a shield at this stage in the game.
No, he's not, and that's got to be the only one he's running, right? So
I would think so.
Yeah. So he's got a grabber, do it or not, battle plan, and goldenrod.
Yes, like the things that I Have You Now cancels. It's not. Oh, sorry. That Hear Me Baby cancels. Like I Have You Now and Hidden Weapons and Ceasefire are like just not as important to an Old Allies player.
And this is one of the things. This is one of the many things that Agents of Black Sun can do. Just the shield pressure that it puts on light side. Just one more thing to have to deal with.
Exactly.
Especially when the cards that pull shields are the ones you kind of want to hold on to deal with some of their.
Some of the other like like what.
You
Hear Me Baby.
Hear Me Baby to cancel Hidden Weapons or perimeter scan to deal with the fact coming down.
Mm-hmm. Zam, looks like he's right there on the top of his hand.
He looks like about 6 characters.
So Zam deploy 3, draws Destiny on her own, is a great candidate to start spreading out.
Yeah.
Especially to an interior site, because Old Allies has a lot of trouble putting together. Old Allies really can't beat down. Well, they have trouble beating down in general, but especially interior sites where they can't like throw Poe on a vehicle.
Yeah.
And and then wedge on say Poe and Wedge on Rogue 3 or something. Right. Then you can like cancel their battle destiny, and you're at like 9 power and drawing 2. Then you can maybe get some overflow in, but without that kind of combo on a speeder, it's really hard to actually get overflow, which is really the only that's the downside of Black Thunder spreading out, because they're always gonna be able to like counter beat you and attack you back after they spread.
Yep.
So if you're not getting damage in on your initial attack,
it's probably not worth it.
Yeah. Well, it might still be worth it to have to do, but it just makes it that much harder. You have to be, especially when you have to play around the barriers and the bounties that they're going to have to like stop it the first couple times you try to attack them.
Yep.
Looks like Tom just lost the Tantai from U's pile.
Oh, that's...
Is it used pile, or did it come off the top?
Or either off the top or off U's, from his life force.
From some unknown, didn't know what it was, and that's really not a card that he wants to top deck at this point. That the Tantive can be very powerful at.
He does have. He probably does have Radis to go grab Curling Corvette, which can do a Tantive impression, but he.
Well, that extra icon is just crucial,
because to get to the Coruscant system before Black Sun's there.
He also has. If he's playing the whole full Radis package, he could also have Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One, sure.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he is or not. I don't know what. Since I didn't hear about the first match, didn't watch that one. Take something off the top.
So
rescue.
Like a ping from shadows damage.
Rescue in the clouds.
So Tom deciding, how to use this turn to respond to what looks like a fairly quick spread from Hayes Black Sun. Turn 2, Satisfying Shadows on 3 battlegrounds. Threatening. He's got plenty of force saved. He's got the sewer, text online to retrieve a character into hand.
He definitely has the Zizor's Bounty in hand, which can be used at any site right now because they have a Black Sun agent each of them. In addition, a lot of Black Suns are playing barriers, which just presents another impediment to being able to go after them after they spread on the ground like this.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you throw a barrier and a bounty, that's like...
It's one of the reasons why Decree is actually so good, because I think I played this match a few times this weekend, and so a lot of times you'll get a hand up and it's really good, so you'll go character, bounty, character, barrier, character.
Exactly.
And then you play the weapons display shield, or that's the light side one, right? Weapons display. Firepower, whatever. And then
weapons display is light side.
That's the light side one.
Yeah.
And then without Decree, they'd be losing 4 in that battle.
Right.
1 from the bounty and 1 from the barrier.
Right.
And instead they're losing, which 4 is a lot. Instead they're just losing 2.
Right.
And those kind of things, especially in games like this, that really are about like, so we just played Radis to grab the Corvette. That really are about like kind of like grindy incremental card advantage.
Yeah.
Something like that can be, a really big swing.
Absolutely. So Tom using Radis to flip, essentially, occupy the second site, and then pull the Corvette to control the system.
And the likely that is going to shell Radis up here.
Yeah, very likely.
Tom Kelly against Hayes Hunter, and Tom won the first one by 6.
Yeah, Tom won the first one by 6.
That was true Pentaments against Tira. Okay. And second game is? It's OA versus Agents. Yeah, I think we have TRM versus Agents is what Johnny and Bastion are playing.
Yeah.
Well, how did the first game go? I don't remember that one.
Bastion won the first game.
Really?
By 15.
Okay. He won?
Yeah.
Oh, in the beginning it looked completely different.
He pulled it off somehow. I was at launch, so I didn't see it, but yeah.
Crazy. Okay.
So yeah, they look like, I was out there a few minutes ago and they looked like they were pretty even, Bastion and Johnny. So that probably favors Bastion.
In the second game?
In the second game, yeah.
Okay, I'm taking a look and then maybe come back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let us know
Okay.
where things look.
Say I was in there just a few minutes ago and it looked pretty even.
Yeah.
Johnny had just initiated a battle.
So yeah, things could have changed.
Didn't go great for Bastion, but he
So looking at Tom's turn, he's gone for a relatively solid flip, meaning he just wants to be on 2 locations, sight and system, aware that Hayes can very well use his next turn to attack in either theater.
Do you see what the pilot is that's on?
The pilot is Poe.
Poe. So he is vulnerable to Zuckuss here because he only has 6 ability piloting in the system because the Corvette only has an ability 1 permanent pilot.
Right. So he's got the Finn react, online in space and on the ground. So that's gonna add some power and soak up some damage. So that's not too bad. I think it looks like the line he's taken is sort of a concession to lose a couple cards from table to a Zuckuss attack, but hopefully play a leadership to prevent getting completely cleared, and then have enough resources to counterattack effectively.
Yeah, he does have a lot of power here, right?
Yeah, he will have a lot of power compared to Zuckuss, who's only power 4.
Radis adds 1 and Poe adds 3, and there's base 5.
Right.
And he subtract 2 from a destiny. So if you can play a leadership against a Zuckuss attack, that's really going to limit the amount of
So he may lose nothing to a Zuckuss attack.
He may lose if he can react with a Finn. Yeah, he might actually outpower a Zuckuss if he has a leadership.
There's the Expand the Empire, and it looks like Hayes is, I guess, is he searching reserve, and he's he's looking at Expand the Empire. I gather that maybe he thinks it's an important card here. So what that presumably would do is go on the uplink station and translate the Force Drain +1 bonus to both adjacent sites, as long as he can find the Falling's Fist for Coruscant. But I don't think we've seen that in his hand. And obviously the Expand the Empire also seems to be in reserve deck.
Saw what looked like 3 blue cards in his hand, so.
Oh, okay.
He could have it.
Yeah.
Did he just take the?
It looked like he took the Expand the Empire. Was he?
Oh, so this is Force Pile, and he's using Force Push. Yeah.
Oh, he's force pushing for a card. Okay, yeah. And you can see
that makes more sense.
It makes a big difference here. 'Cause if he has the fist, he can put the Expand the Empire on the middle site and then turn a drain of 1/1/1 into a drain of 2/2/2.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely game changing in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that was me.
When you go from 1 drain that you have to reduce down to 1 to 3, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that sort of thing is usually too much for old allies to deal with.
Love that we randomly get some audio from the other room. Sort of break or
something. Is this Hayes?
Oh, Hayes is switching out his. He has 1 foil Emperor in his deck, and so whenever he plays an Emperor, he has the foil 1 in his deck, he asks his opponent to switch it out because
he likes having the foil 1 on table.
Well,
no, he likes not having the foil 1 in his deck because there are always sort of like issues, or at least peripherally, with the idea that a foil can be more curved than other cards, and so potentially it's
running the 1.
Identifiable, right?
Okay,
so
I see what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
He's also just dislikes foils.
Hayes notoriously hates foils for this reason, and probably others.
But in a tournament like this, when everyone is using all of their Emperors to play Black Sun,
exactly,
their scarcity means that I guess Hayes had to make a concession and play a foil version.
It looks like Hayes only paid 3 for U3PO, and I think Tom is backing him up on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
So Bastian definitely has more life force than Johnny, but Johnny cleared Emperor right now, and but to set up blow off the program trap. So he has I think Jedi Luke at the side, and Johnny has Jedi Luke is for Johnny Chu, and Bastian has Probot alone at the side at different sides. And I think there was nothing in space, but Johnny is pretty low on life force.
I don't think Johnny can win by
he needs to win by
so
15.
He has maybe now like something between
I don't think
15
so.
or 20. So it's
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting some updates from Angelo on the state of Bastion and Chu's game, so things aren't looking so great for Johnny Chu right now. But it still could happen. We'll see. Keep you all updated.
What's happening in this game?
I'm not sure.
Well, Hayes just made a pretty big play
Really?
where he's
Black Sun.
he's got the combo with the fist and the expand the empire, so he's
Oh, that's awesome.
really upped his damage.
This is how I lost.
And if this stays on the board, it's not looking great for Tom in the long run. So it's definitely on Tom to
Game won
respond.
by 7. Is that right?
6.
6. So yeah, Hayes would need to win by 7.
Did somebody know how Chu lost the first game?
I was at lunch and wasn't able to
I didn't
see
see
it.
it.
Yeah.
Also at lunch.
Okay, this is.
Surprised
we on
that Tom
camera?
isn't playing. Huh?
Are we on camera?
No. No. They can't see us.
Steven, stop picking your nose.
I was like,
Or start.
Or start picking your nose. Our new pings are just tough for OA to deal with. It's still Hayes' turn.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I seem to remember Hayes saying that Expand the Empire was the key to winning the OA matchup for setting up those drains.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
So now
Drain
Tom
2/2
is
too.
put in a position where he has split priorities right now because not only is he facing down potentially a lot of damage from Black Sun that he needs to find things to go interact and fight, which could be tricky given that Poe is on the Corvette right now. And important thing to note is that the Corvette can't move between Jakku and Coruscant because it's a 4 higher speed difference and the Corvette is only hyper speed 3. But he also needs to try and find a way to get a Corrin because right now he's only doing 1 damage a turn.
Yeah. So rough.
So while he can move move away more than one site so the U3PO can't follow, it does mean that he's not going to damage this turn, and after that he's only going to be doing 1 damage per turn.
Yeah. So yeah, Corrin Horn is a priority, or some way.
1 damage on the ground and 1 damage
Some
in
way to
space.
get rid of that U3PO, whether it be
Right.
sorry about the mess with the Chewie or however it works out. I'm not sure what's in the deck.
Right. So but by doing multiple things here at once, right? So you can see that Hayes has just put a Vigo back up onto the Falling's Fist, which makes the Coruscant into a battleground by adding one light icon and 1 dark icon, and then he's consolidating. So right now he's threatening a drain of 2, a drain of 2, and a drain of 1 with 2 pink per turn. So that's 7.
Yep.
Tom can reduce one of those, the drains of 2, to a drain of 1. That's still 6 damage every turn
And
cycle.
Tom's only
And
doing
turn right now is
1.
Tom doing 1. Right this turn, every turn after that, he set it up to do 2. This is something where the Falcon in space can be nice, where if you can control the 2/2 and with Ray and someone else like on a speeder, and then have the Falcon in space, the Falcon adds to the drain of the Jakku system, so you can drain 2 in space and 2 on the ground and start to put a comparable amount of damage up. So you can kind of use your mitigation, some of your interaction to start to do something against a drain race, because you have to commit some amount of resources to Jakku because you need the flip side bonus of reducing damage
And setting up like rows maybe to get some retrieval going.
Right. Especially here, if your ship that you're using to flip is the Corvette, you can't move it away. The Corvette is now stuck at one location. It can never leave. It has to stay at Jakku, which means he has to defend it to some extent as well.
Right, and we already heard that the Tantive was top decked.
Right.
So
What is the life force count approximately?
It's really hard to tell. It's very early in the game. Both players have only lost a couple cards. Well, Tom has lost a few cards, maybe 3 or 4, and Hayes has only lost.
That was blood.
Force push.
Let's make sure this is blood.
Is it plugged in? Yeah, it's plugged in.
Looks like we're good now.
Okay.
I mean, the
I think
Falcon
that thing was
can
loose.
move to the other side, so I think Corran is not that important. If it's the Falcon there, right? You can hyperspeed.
You can move.
But it is a drain of 1 versus a drain of 2, so it's still mitigating 1 damage per turn. Yeah.
But it's better than no drain.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly.
But as it is now, looking at the drain race as it stands, I mean, Hayes is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one of those will be reduced, so 4 in drains, and then 2 per round with Shadow's damage to Tom's 1.
With Tom putting Poe out on table, piloting the Corvette, that severely limits what Hayes has to be afraid of in terms of attacks coming out. He doesn't have to be as worried about a speeder with Poe coming out. He doesn't have to worry as much about someone coming down.
Or like a ship against
The
the Falling's
ship.
Fist, yeah.
Anything grabbed already dark side?
Don't think so.
Anywhere?
Grabber's up here in the corner. It looks blank.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any.
So
I don't
does-
even know if I don't know if there's been an interrupt played yet this game.
Does Tom play
Yeah, I don't think so.
It could be worse. We are doomed.
Yeah, does he do? Yeah, he
Three-
might run
three
some of that
PO
kind of
lock?
stuff.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
see 3PO
I'm not
or
sure.
R2, so I'm not sure.
I know a few previous versions of the deck didn't have those, but but he certainly has made updates to the deck for day 2, and I'm not exactly sure what those are. He may have decided that more mitigation was necessary.
Yeah, because I agree. At the moment, how it looks like, it's pretty difficult for Tom to just go into drain race mode. So
Yeah, so
that he will lose.
You know, he has to attack, and the problem is I think Hayes has a reasonable sized hand and has force saved, and you know that he's going to at least bounty the first character that comes down, and probably has a barrier for the second.
Yeah, and then you don't have much resources with old allies or much characters to go
Yeah,
there.
not as much good characters if you can't play Luke. And
Yeah, probably.
You need like speeders.
Speeders.
Speeders are decent, especially with like Wedge.
Yeah, is Emperor is at which side?
He's with Shizor, I believe.
Yes, there's Emperor Caesar at the palace, and then it is Zam and Josper at the uplink station.
So lots of forfeit.
Yeah.
You don't need Caesar, so he has forfeit 6 if they go there. But
Right.
yeah, Chewie will be the first character to bounty, and then everything else is just okay.
Yeah, maybe General Leia or.
Yeah.
If you can't hear, Angela's pointing out that the most dangerous character on the ground is probably Chewie. But we're not going to see... Chewie looks like we're going to see a speeder attack of some kind.
Is that a Rogue One?
That's a Rogue 3.
Rogue 3 with Wedge.
Rogue 3 with Wedge.
So this is something where it's good for Tom because he may not be able to overflow and do damage, but if he's canceling battle destinies, it increases the likelihood that he doesn't lose anyone. He kind of whittle away.
Wedge is getting the bounty.
Black Sun's
Right.
Black Sun's character base.
Right. So as expected, we're seeing Shizar's bounty on probably the most powerful character of the turn for Tom.
Because it isn't any other pilot piloting Rogue 3 is a Rogue Squadron pilot and
Correct.
cancels with Wedge.
Yeah.
The same thing happens on the ship Rogue One.
Right. Yeah. Wedge is very versatile.
We can see the hand there, so
Yeah.
yeah, lots of.
Saw
lots of
IG-88
carry.
for sure. In Hayes' hand.
I think it might. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Wedge adds anything to Rogue 3's maneuver. I think he just adds maneuver on Red 2.
Yeah, no, he doesn't add anything.
Yeah, so
that
it's-
version of Wedge wouldn't.
So it's just a base 4.
Leia? That's Leia.
That's
Leia.
General Leia.
So it's just a base 4 maneuver.
Whoa, did he spend all his force? That's it?
No.
No, he's got more.
He's
It's hard to see the
They
piles.
blend his sleeves are
sleeves.
similar
Okay.
color to that, and that he's going to use Brave Resistance and show a Rose Tico to get a different character.
If he has force for a Chewie, this could be an interesting attack here.
Agreed.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
Does look like he'd be getting a
Yep.
lot of force.
Oh.
Looks like he's getting.
No, that's the.
Sartor, that does add a battle destiny though.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it makes Leia into
Or-
defense value 6 and forfeit 9.
So he actually went with a different character.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he not grab Sartora?
No, it's the,
Yeah, he
the guy
grabbed
that
the pilot guy. I forget his
Oh,
name.
Snap.
Snap.
that
Yeah.
makes
Snap,
the
Temmin,
bounty
Snap,
hunter
Wexley.
also more
10% plus one.
expensive.
Yeah, bounty hunters and Imperials deploy +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he's a second pilot. No, he it looks like he's once Wedge gets Shizar's bountied. Oh no, it is a second pilot to go on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can bump Wedge. To the
I
top spot.
see what you're saying.
Okay.
Tyler, yeah.
But it has 2 pilot seats, so.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Well,
The
cool.
tape just broke on
Went-
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Went down.
Let me figure that out.
Slight weapons malfunction.
we're all fine here. How are you?
We still live.
Game 1 was Tom Kelly
by
by
six.
6.
That's interesting. I'm not sure. Sartora adding a battle destiny here is interesting. If he wants to actually battle this turn, I think Sartora would be the better choice.
So he still have
Right.
force left.
He's
Oh.
opting for the long-term choice.
Okay, and he's playing another speeder.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna see a battle here, anyways, most likely, and
This Tom has a lot of power.
not gonna be able to pull weapons display as it's.
Did he pull both sack shields? Oh, he pulled Goldenrod.
Yeah,
Yeah, for the Emperor.
Yeah, it is.
that's always a tough call.
Yeah.
I think that Black Sun puts so much shield pressure on you because you want sack shields, you want weapons display, you usually want battle plan,
Exactly.
you need the grabber, that you usually can't afford to pull a shield that just makes your opponent use 2 force once per game.
I think that's right, but it depends. I think 2 force early, like 2 force turn 1 is much more important than 2 force turn 4 or
because
something.
there are 2 less cards that he draws, so this can be really important.
Yeah,
And you should be running, Hear Me Baby Hold Together or Perimeter Scan, something like that, to give
both
yourself
of
an
them,
extra.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen some decks run both. Yeah. For their
Well,
other
I mean,
uses.
as Cal was pointing out earlier, perimeter scan needs to stay in hand until Fet Bounty Hunter hits the table.
That's true.
And for Hear Me Baby, which is less likely to be in Inald Valley's list, I think.
Right.
That would be something you'd want to hold as well for hidden weapons. Though I'm not sure if there's been much hidden weapons in reality in the Black Sun builds this weekend.
Yeah, I think this is like this meta gaming,
Yeah.
and so they are
more
playing
just threatening it, but not actually
No,
playing
all
it.
the decks play 2 of the hidden weapons, then everybody played or start to playing the counter or 2 of the counters.
Right,
Then
yeah.
agent says, okay, why should I play the Destiny 2 cards to be cancelled for Destiny 5 used interrupt?
Right.
So just took it out and play something else.
Yeah.
Because you
And
still
it's-
have the Mandalorian, so you're still threatening the
Yeah.
ability to hit weapons. So
Right.
people are still thinking about it, but because I don't think we saw many agents decks yesterday on stream, and I don't think we saw a single hidden weapons get played.
And I was playing agents. I had 1 in my deck, and I honestly regretted even having it in there.
Yeah, I took both of mine out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we have a lot of power difference there.
So yeah, we've had a battle. Tom went ahead with it, even though Wedge was prevented from battling, and certainly had a lot of power. Got a retrieval with Leia, I assume. Got the ability to subtract 2 from a Destiny, and between all that, has cleared Haze from the site. And it appears
that
loses
turns off shadows at least for the turn. so
loses
that's good.
nothing. Yeah.
So this seems like a very, very like good hand that Tom was able to have.
Yeah, that's a certainly reasonable.
Because he
turn
had
for
both.
Tom.
Because he had both of his speeders.
Yeah. That's right.
Plus a wedge.
And is he moving now in front of?
Yeah, that's
the
is a
Emperor?
pretty good turn.
Because those are because the resistance character, you're just always gonna have what you need because of ABR. But it's the cards that you can't pull, which are like the speeders, the starships to some extent, and like wedge, are the key cards that you do just have to draw into. And getting the right ones at the right times can be really important.
So Tom didn't lose anything?
No, I guess he subtracted 2, and
I think
everyone was immune less than 4. So
Everyone?
well,
Leia's immune less than 4, and then the guy on the speeder would be. I don't know.
Oh, is
about
it
that.
Wedge Speeder and Wedge?
but
Because
Wedge
I
was excluded from the battle, so I wonder maybe Hayes must have drawn a 2 that was.
Or maybe it was
I
just
think
a 0.
I think it was it like a 3, or what? Either it was the starting interrupt or it looked like the
'Cause it-
puller for Forlorn. So what's the destiny for this? Is it 2 or 3?
That's a 3.
It's a 3, but I don't think Hayes is playing that. If anyone knows what Hayes drew for Destiny in that battle, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, we obviously missed that one. So I'm guessing it was a 2 that was reduced, though, just because since we didn't see anything lose to lost pile in that battle, I'm guessing it just was turned into a 0.
I think Phil's active judging, so he definitely would have.
Yeah, I think he drew 2, says
okay, so
Kimura.
then,
Thanks.
oh, that's pretty good for Tom then.
Yeah, that went about as well as you could
Yeah.
possibly imagine. Clearing the site, not losing anything, and then able to still move over and.
Yeah, but no force left to move the Falcon then, I guess. So he spent everything then.
Right, he did. But there are worse things.
EPP Dengar could be good. Yeah, someone said that. Or P59 to shoot the speeder.
Oh, IG.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the
Speeder is pretty easy to
The
hit.
speeder
Or
is-
not impossible to hit. Let's just put it that way.
well, he probably needs a 6 here, right? Because he's going to be able to subtract 2 from it with the objective.
Oh right, yeah. The objective does subtract 2 from those 2. I forgot about that.
Does Tom have a...
But that's hittable,
They are
right?
tracking
Yeah.
us in hand?
It's in the range that you can actually do something about it.
Okay.
We have
Bastion
an
advances.
update. Yep, Bastion advances.
Woo!
So, we will have Bastion going for his first world championship in quite a while.
Quite a while, since 2001.
So that's pretty
17
sweet.
years.
That's pretty sweet. So congrats to him. He awaits the winner of this match.
I will be right back.
All right, thanks, Angelo. Go give him a hug.
Yeah.
So Hayes presumably faced with the decision to either counterattack or continue spreading out in response, and
He did go to Jakku with P59, so he's got Shadows back online.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to spread. I mean, that is a stack of characters that you really cannot even think about attacking into.
no, and I think the weakness, if you can call it that Tom has left himself open to in this move of stacking everyone at the site is that Emperor is now able to move away to a different battleground.
Yes. Sometimes it's going to be really important to force Emperor back to a non-battleground where he can't contribute to occupying 3 battlegrounds for Shadows
Right.
or various other things. He might be able to do that on a... See, and he can't even really do it on a subsequent turn unless he goes, like, Leia by herself to the sewer, because otherwise Emperor will just end up walking over to the sewer over the course of a couple turns, where he's much safer from all these speeders.
Right.
So maybe Hayes is considering the Zuckuss play. I'm pretty sure I see a Zuckuss and Misthunter in his hand.
Yeah.
5, 6. That's
So
Zuckuss and Misthunter.
yeah,
I'm
he's
almost
going for it
positive.
with Zuckuss.
I think he probably just picked up that pile of cards and realized it's only 5 ability.
Oh, rethinking it.
Rethinking.
Maybe not. But yeah, that seems to be a possibly good play there. But like we said earlier, he has so much power there, and he can maybe react. I guess he can't react with Finn, can he?
He can.
He would be
Oh,
able
because
to.
Poe's there. Because Poe's
Poe's there,
free
so
with
it's
Poe.
free.
Yeah. So that could help even more.
And is he going to go for it? He seems unsure.
He's going back and forth, definitely.
And it's understandable because, on one hand,
Oh, Tom won by
it's a good
6.
play. On the other hand,
Hayes needs to win by 6.
it's susceptible to certain things, such as leadership. And if Hayes isn't planning on or isn't able to sense leadership, then that attack could go poorly, and it takes him down a road where it was riskier than he had to be. He could just opt instead to continue spreading out, keep doing the Shadows damage, which is basically just damage just for being on the board, and
So it looks like yeah, he's spreading out.
So it looks like he used the sewer there, I think, to get Zam back, I think is what he did.
Don't you have to occupy the sewer before you?
No.
No, you just have to
Don't.
occupy 3
Oh,
battlegrounds.
okay.
yep.
I forgot about that.
So that
The Chu game is over. Bastion has advanced over Chu.
So yeah, Bastion awaits the winner of this match.
in the final. One thing that has happened is that Tom has put most of his important attacking characters. They're all Poe's on the table, Wedge's on the table, Leia's on the table, Ray's on the table.
I haven't seen Chewie, but other than that, yeah.
Chewie-
Chewier solo.
Chewie and Solo are the two that are left.
Okay, guys. So update because I was wondering for the Bastion game how he could win the first game actually,
Yeah.
and that was pretty interesting because Johnny Chu had it all locked up.
What was the matchup?
It was Dark Deal against Watcher Step.
Yeah.
So the first one, because it looked very bad in the beginning. So Johnny Chu had Free Executor and had a Canceller for the Luke Drain. So Luke Drain for 3 in the Cantina and hit the it's a hit for Darkseid or Tarkin's Orders.
Yeah.
And Bastian told me how he won that game. So in one turn, Johnny Chu set up Dark Deal, but had no force left, and that gave Bastion the chance to attack in the Cantina. In the Cantina was General Grievous, Phasma, and one of the FN guys who has to use 1 force to
Yeah.
cancel the game tax,
Uh-huh.
but Chu had no force left.
Right. Okay.
So Bastion got there with Chewie and somebody else, attacked, played Blast the Door Kit,
Oh.
and Chu had no gig
Okay. Wow.
and no force to use FN. So
Luckily, Bastion only drew a 0 and a 1 for Battle Destinies.
Oh, it could've been a lot
Even
worse.
Yeah, he had to deal
Okay.
10 still. But
yeah.
Could have been 15 or
Could
more,
have
yeah.
over right away. Yeah.
So then Chu still got the drains in with Dark Deal, but it was over already.
Wow.
So just a couple things I've seen. We got Firepower Shield was played with Cold Feet by Hayes. I think Tom is activated for his turn, is just trying to figure out what he's going to do this turn. Still has the U3PO to deal with, and maybe trying to satisfy Zuckuss and Misthunter up at the Jakku system.
So Tom doing drains of 2 and 1.
Who's winning this game?
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Yeah, it's still pretty even, I would say.
Tom won the first game by 6.
Tom won the first one by 6, so it needs to be, pretty close game.
Tom showing a verify of his reserve.
He's got leadership, control tunnel vision, all wings combo, Poe Dameron, Lorsen Tekka,
And a Rebel Flight Suit.
Rebel Flight Suit.
So, yeah.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Take care.
See ya. See ya.
Email me if you need me to do that.
Yeah.
I will do. Dan, thanks again for all that stuff earlier. Yeah, no problem. Sure.
So Tom mulling his turn. It's interesting to see both players occupying relatively the same number of locations. Tom arguably with a stronger board presence, but Hayes doing more damage as it stands.
Yeah, so Hayes is threatening right now if 3 drains of 2 and a drain of 1, along with 2 shadows pings.
Right.
Tom is likely going to at least move in front of one of those drains.
Right.
And
reduce another
one.
Looks like it's Padme.
Okay.
against Zam.
So it looks like Padme by herself is probably going to just come down here and clear Zam.
And this is a great matchup. Oh, okay.
We got-
Maybe going for some overflow against Zam.
Interesting. I don't know that this gets Tom into overflow range,
But
though.
he can leave a character there, so that's pretty important then, maybe.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So what he can do now is if he leaves a character there, potentially he can basically trap the
Oh, yeah,
Emperor.
he retrieves the
He can
force.
trap
what
the
did
Emperor.
he retrieve? Did we
Um,
see? I missed what he retrieved.
There was
it
a-
a control tunnel vision or?
A guy, I think.
Was it Han?
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
Han was the top card.
There was a solo and lost pile.
So there's 2 benefits to adding Finn here.
Ah,
We have a react from Greedo. The one benefit is having forfeit fodder so that you can clear the site and still have someone there, and then the other thing is to have a resistance character to retrieve with General Leia's text.
And one thing that
So he needs a 5 now, the lucky 5 to clear both of them.
And there are a couple in there at least, right?
yeah.
Yep.
The one thing that Tom can do is he can actually trap the Emperor if he has characters on all the sites.
Right.
The Emperor
Yeah. Oh,
can't
and
move
there's-
away.
There's the 5.
There's the
yeah.
5.
Yeah.
So this.
This is really lucky now, yeah. And then the Emperor cannot move.
I think he was 1/3. He had a Rebel Flight Suit and an All Wings in his deck, and those are the 2 5s.
Of course, Tyreth points out the third, probably most important reason to have the resistance character is to reduce Destiny draw by 2. So Hayes forced to lose both.
And I think that he didn't crack either because Finn is immune less than 4 and Padme is immune less than 3.
Whoa, this is pretty good, yeah.
Finn is immune?
Finn is immune less than 4, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
Yeah,
less than
100%.
Yeah,
He's a tough guy.
Padme is
less than 3.
Padme's immune less than 3
He's
and
got that
Finn's immune less than
token
4.
immunity, yeah.
So,
Hey,
yeah,
comes
and
in
he has-
handy.
does he have to peel cards there? So what was the part? So
No, he's not peeling anything.
With the Greedo and the forfeit from the Greedo, I think he should be fine.
yeah.
But another nice thing about attacking Zam with those characters is neither of them. Well, it doesn't matter because they weren't lost, but neither of them is leaders, so it doesn't have to worry about a ping of 2 from Zam's stacks.
But Hayes does get to pull something from his force pile with Zam.
Okay,
That's
interesting.
true. That's
So
true.
now Tom is stacking all of his characters in front of Zizor and Emperor, which does
Yeah,
potentially
and
let.
there's the move, so now that's pretty good. Now it's doing some damage.
Yeah, this does allow.
Is Hayes just moving U3PO over to block?
I don't-
To black next turn.
Because he couldn't follow because the Falcon moved
Well,
multiple
if he
sites.
was-
Why leave then? He must have wanted to spend the force.
Maybe because you want to try and follow, but if he moves in front, then Hayes just moves away on that turn, and then goes back to the 2 site, which then takes 2 more turns to get back over to block the drain of 2. I think the U3PO is better off staying at
I
the
wonder if
2-2,
we're missing something.
but
Did Hayes pull a card from his?
He did, but I didn't see what he took.
Now we got Rescue in the Clouds from Tom. He's grabbing that one.
Wow, I'm surprised at that grab. I guess he might not think Tom has anything else that's super game changing.
I would think leadership
many
is
do you
just
have
more game
leaderships?
changing. Every game that I played this weekend, Old Allies versus Blackstone, leadership was the card that got grabbed.
So Hayes has yet to initiate a battle this game.
How many grabbers is Hayes running? Just the one?
Yeah, I
Just the one.
think so.
I think so.
This is an old question, but commentary is I'm on commentary, Stephen Salucci with Cal Aldred, and we have Angelo Consoli in the background. Is that how you say it? And Jerry Queso Sauce Hine. Is that how you say your last name?
Yes, it's Hine. Thank you.
Said very unconfidently.
I appreciate it. And then we also have Dan's over here too in the corner. You might not hear him super well. He's a little far away from the microphone, but we have a hearty booth back here with 5 dudes, so it's a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks again for joining us. We have 53 viewers.
Oh, did Hayes add the grabber?
Oh, interesting. Maybe.
Maybe.
So it's
Something special
possible
planned
that
for
That would make
Hayes-
more sense to grab the rescue if you have another grabber, especially in your hand.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Still can't figure out the U3PO move.
No.
So Hayes figuring out what to do with his turn and presumably has still plenty of life force to affect a big attack. But not doing too much damage right now. He was able to drain for 1 and 1. Probably ping at some point with the shadows.
Well, does he have shadows set up? Because this isn't a battleground,
Oh,
right?
that's right. No, that's right.
It's just the 2 sides.
But
or the
he'll
2.
he'll probably go to a third.
He'll go to a third, but he doesn't currently have it.
So Tom is a little weaker now to being battled in space because Hayes doesn't have to fear the.
Do you guys know like how far along they are? How long they will take?
He doesn't have to fear a thing
I don't know
reaction
what
in
time
space.
they are in the round. They look like they're maybe 2/3 of the way through. I don't know what the time in the round is. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll take at least another half hour, I think.
Yeah.
They probably want to take a break anyways between the matches.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't know
so
if there's flight
we have
or
blast door
something.
controls. We do have the
Yeah,
second
Johnny
grabber,
had a flight. I'm not sure
and
about
we
that
have blast door
actually, but
controls
yeah.
from Hayes. So Hayes definitely looking to attack somewhere this turn. It's just a question of where. He's got Zuckuss, IG-88, and Boba Fett.
What's the ability in space?
Ability in space is not enough to cover
Yeah, here comes the Zuckuss.
And now
So
with
you
Finn
have
on
Poe
table,
and
this is the perfect turn for Hayes to attack with Zuckuss because now Finn is committed.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of forfeit and power soak
Does he have follow?
that's
Yeah,
4 lums.
it's follow.
for Tom to use.
So you go
So
4-lom IG-88 here to draw.
Yeah, he's going all in.
2
Oh
battle
yeah,
destinies.
it's all in. Yeah.
It would be 3 battle destinies, right?
Yeah, sorry, 3.
Who
Adding
is
2
it?
battle
Who is in
destinies.
space? Who are the pilots?
it's Radis and
Radis
Poe.
and Poe.
Yeah.
Which
Radis
is
and Poe.
and
So he only has 6 ability because the
Okay.
Corvette only has an ability 1 permanent pilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a
Poe's
leader-
only 2, right? Yeah,
Poe's
Radis
two.
is 3.
Still a leadership would be.
A leadership would do it.
Would be really
Leadership would
good.
help
Yeah.
reduce the battle destinies, yes. We'll see if Tom has the leadership to help with that.
I don't
Who's
see a
that? Who's
sense
that?
in Hayes' hand
No.
also,
No, he doesn't
which would
have
be
it.
a big way for him to mitigate.
But he can shadows now if he didn't do it
Okay,
yet.
so there's the IG-88.
He's got Iggy and 4-lom on the...
Yeah, there are shadows, I think.
Maybe now, or maybe waits till after the battle if.
Because he's not gonna get cleared.
Yeah, he's shadows.
He
The
does
shadows,
it
what did
now.
he draw? Or is it a sense?
It looked like a Git combo. Didn't even-
Doesn't
I'm
look
not
like a
sure.
sense. So barrier loss from hand is the most obvious card to lose for Tom.
Yeah. There's a downside of blast door
Yeah, he's got
controls
the-
yeah.
compared to
I
something
think it
like
was the
they're
kick
still
combo,
coming through.
yeah.
is
Yeah.
that it puts you down a card where they're still coming through, end up putting you up a card when you play it.
Yeah.
So there's the initiation.
All right. So Tom has no response.
Let's
There
play
it
the
is.
leadership.
There's leadership, which
He's going to grab it on
That's
something
that's
special.
probably the
grab.
card he got with the rescue in the clouds.
Yeah.
Hmm. I was assuming he
If
had
he
it the
didn't
whole
have it
time.
already, yeah.
I think he probably
Dude,
did. He hasn't
he's-
played. I don't think he played it to get
Because
Radis,
he's got
so
a
I think
6 off the top.
he probably
So
just
that's
draw
his only
one
draw,
at some point
is
during
the
the
leadership.
game.
And he's going to subtract the 2, so the Corvette's going to be immune. So Tom's not losing anything.
Depends on power, but yeah, I think. you're
Yeah,
right.
the power is the bigger issue here.
If
It's
I'm
only
Tom,
going to
I'm
be
peeling.
8.
8,
It's only
right?
going to be 8 from the
8.
4 Destiny and the Zuckuss, right?
Yeah, if I'm Tom, I'm peeling, and then I'm bringing
Is IG
Finn
doesn't
up
add to
to
power?
Corvette.
IG isn't...
Yeah, it's 8 to 8. It looks
It's
like.
8 to 8, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or even he lost one card.
Hayes lost a card?
Yeah.
Because Radis has 1, right?
Yes.
And then you have 3 from Poe,
8 to
and
9.
then 4 from
8
the
to 9.
Corvette.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was.
I mean, yeah, the
Well,
leadership was huge.
Yep.
Hayes had to know he was burning through leadership, most likely.
So now all Tom has to do is, like I said, bring Finn up to the Corvette.
We can't do that. Finn's on Coruscant.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finn's on Coruscant. He also doesn't. Finn's also not a pilot, so he doesn't get
No,
around
but
the
he does
Zuckuss
add
issue.
the-
But
He has that-
3
he
power.
can
There are.
shuttle up General Calrissian also.
Yeah.
He could. He
Yeah.
could set up General Carnation. That puts him more vulnerable to being attacked on the ground than just Rey and the speeder.
Yeah, he might have a character he can play from hand up there.
In the vehicle Falcon.
And now Tom is going to get some damage through this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a drain of 2, a drain of 2, and a drain of 1 in.
So,
P59 would be much better at the battleground now, actually.
yeah,
Because he was draining for 1 anyway due to the
right.
reduction.
Well, now he's not reducing. You have to control 2 Jacko sets.
Okay, yeah.
True.
Or locations.
So yeah. So it's going back to. Let's see. Hayes is set up to drain for 5 this turn, but we'll see what happens. That may not be the case by the time Hayes gets his turn back.
I imagine not.
Does anybody know how many leaderships Tom is running?
I guess something like 3 or 4 is like
Yeah,
fairly
no.
standard.
I think I ran 3 when I played this deck at Colorado States this summer, so deck looks pretty similar to what I was playing. So when you have Admiral Radis, you have General Leia, you have General Calrissian.
So we're
I
looking
read how I
at
ran
Hayes is
5,
taking
no,
5 this one
that's,
right
yeah,
here.
that's a
But I
lot.
also ran Akbar.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
Plus the profundity, so.
From Black Sun's point of view, taking 5 damage is never something that you want to do for more than a turn. Or not just want to, but I don't think you can win taking more than 5 damage.
So it looks like some in the
Twice.
chat was saying that it looks like Hayes just drew a sense.
Okay.
No, drew that a little later than he would have wanted it. He could have canceled that
Gary
leadership.
off the top, which would have been good.
Was it maybe a thing to move P59 out to block a drain and get a Shadows ping in?
Well, he's on 3
He's on 3
battlegrounds.
battlegrounds,
So he
yeah.
can, he can
we know
ping.
if he's
He's got the
Where's
2
He's
systems.
got-
the others. Okay,
Other
good.
systems.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
do
kind
we-
of tucked in there with all the effects.
So is do we know if Hayes is running any Alice's?
I would imagine it's a pretty standard card to
Yeah.
see Alice Hellrod, yeah.
I mean, from what I was seeing, like most lists run like 1 or 2.
So-
Normally 2. Okay, so is Tom throwing a? He's probably using Brave Resistance to go. He dropped a Finn.
We're getting some active judging here. Okay. Finn to use pile. And Tom pulling.
Tom has got a control tunnel vision in his hand, which he can use to cancel any
Well, this
set.
is reserve. I
Was
think,
that
right?
reserve he was looking
Yeah.
at? Okay. That makes
Yeah, I think he's looking with Brave Resistance, targeting that Finn he had in his
that makes
extra.
more sense.
So as far as characters he has left to choose from, you've got Admiral Satura.
Admiral Satura and then Chewie and Han are both not on table.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's
Or
about
maybe
it.
what's
Is
his name?
Rose
Lor
somewhere?
Santeca.
Rose is not on table.
That's
Yeah.
interesting that he's not. Is he playing Rose? Do we know?
Is that a
So
Corn?
there's a
Well, there's a
Corrin.
Corrin who will,
Who's under the
for the
collar?
first action of this move phase, break you through
Oh, okay,
his
so, yeah.
cover.
And then, I imagine Corrin will be shuttling up.
Yeah.
It's an
to-
ability 4 pilot, yeah.
And the Falcon going then.
There's
to-
Lor Santeca at his.
okay, yeah.
So Lord Attack is a cool card because it lets him do like a kind of like a Cantina Shuffle.
Cantina Shuffle with another
where
character.
Another shuffle. He
Then
can
he
move
also-
another character from another resistance character from Lord Santeca's location to an adjacent site.
Who's
And
that?
he gets to draw the card
Ah.
off of the reserve deck, so he gets the extra thing. So
So that was Satura, right? Or who's on the Corvette
that's
now?
Or no, that's yeah. You're right. That's the Admiral.
It's not pilot, I think, right? Or is he pilot? No, he took it back.
That's the Tunnel Villager, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So first some more
Which
damage.
adds- yeah, it's 1 to the drain now. So that's good. I mean, Hayes at this point has to go down to that, to there. Okay.
So Cornhorn goes up. I assume the cover was broken.
Yeah, I think that was the first act.
And the Falcon
he
moves
used
to
a force
the to one side, to two side, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
he's still spending 4. Ah, he moving there over. Okay.
Okay, so now he's
moving
moving
all
from the Emperor.
three.
Now, if I'm Hayes, I'm.
Wait, he doesn't have to spend 3/4 there. I think he can put.
Yeah.
He can like take one of the character, one of the pilots off, put it on dash, and then put Ray
Yeah.
and put let.
I
Ray
think
up
he
with
just realized
Ray
that.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there goes the 5/2/2/2. Yeah.
The 2/2.
Still giving the Emperor a site to run to, though.
Yeah, I
kinda
guess he
thought
just
he might have
doesn't.
tried to trap the Emperor. From
doesn't
not
have the
being able to
force.
move.
I think at this point Hayes has to realize that Talmud does not have the characters left, so he could easily switch, separate the Zizor and the Emperor.
Potentially. It is pretty stacked site. We'll see where he goes this next turn.
The next drain from Tom will be huge.
He's gotta get
Huge.
get
Hayes has to do
59.
something big to affect the board here.
He doesn't
And
have much cards left.
I'm liking Tom's position now.
Yeah, Hayes needs to have like.
Hayes needs to clear
Really
Tom
good-
from space.
Easier said than done with that drawing 3 destinies at the system.
I think Hayes is, he's saving 5 destinies in reserve, so I think he's basically banking on Boba Fett Bounty Hunter getting through. He's getting.
No, the dark side player has 3 battle destinies with IG-88, Zuckuss, and
Yeah.
So if Hayes can go Boba Fett Bounty Hunter to space and leadership, sense leadership, get 5 destinies and clear space, that's really his chance back into this game, I think.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to lose Forlom and IG-88, and if not, the Zuckuss.
He might lose everything on his side, but I
Yeah.
think that's a trade he'd have.
But I don't think that if Tom suddenly has to pay to drain because he's just completely out of space because he's lost Tantive earlier, so he then has to like use the Falcon to go back up into space if he wants to do that, which means he doesn't have as much stuff on the ground, easier to attack there.
And Tom probably doesn't feel like
But does he
needs
have
to worry about
9?
Hayes' space
How much
anymore.
force does he have?
How much does
Yeah,
Hayes have
Tom.
life force? Oh, Tom.
He could easily drain.
He could pay to drain,
Yeah,
but he's not.
and
He's
now-
not. He's not doing. He probably
Yeah.
limits what else he can do with his turn.
Yeah, but he drains for 5 then. I
He
think.
can pay to drain and then move the Falcon to space. That's right. And
I just don't. I mean, Finn's or Poe's immunity or forfeit 7,
Pose 6.
Poe 6, Cornhorn 6,
Cornhorn's 5.
Wow, I'm really off by like 1 today.
And Radis, I think, is just 3.
4.
Is he 4?
4. He's 4.
And then you got it's going to be hard for him to take him out with that forfeit.
Yeah. Plus, he can just slurp up the Tonal Villager or the Lor Santeca or whatever for some more forfeit value if he absolutely
Well,
needs to.
15 is the magic number right here and right now.
So it was drain of 1, and then did he do a shadows damage or?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
He lost 2 or 3 cards, Tom.
I didn't see.
I think it was 2. He can Shadows Ping. He'll probably Shadows Ping at some other point in the turn if he hasn't done it already.
There's it.
Tarkin's Bounty.
Target's Bounty.
Hayes looks to have about
That's
10 force
10,
actually.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Get a good card.
Yeah, this is such a hard setup for Hayes to attack into with only 10 life force.
Yeah. And this can happen with Black Sun. You know, your
Is the LS?
life force
There was
can
it-
dwindle.
Yeah, it's the Ellis.
And your attacks are a bit expensive.
Okay, so if he takes the Ellis, he could go over. And I mean,
He doesn't have. Well, he doesn't really have characters on the ground. Ellis, the Emperor, can't go in front of
It would
anybody.
just be Shizor to try to
Or
trap
P59
someone.
or something, I don't know.
With
yeah.
well, I mean, if he takes the
insufficient
Shizor
ability.
over to where the village is, I mean,
But
that's
there is-
that's no ability there. That's only ability 5.
If he has something tracked, he could maybe try to shoot the Falcon with P59 by Ellising that over. I don't know. They're all.
Yeah.
They seem like.
I mean, at this point, I mean, I wouldn't even worry about the Falcon. He's got the biggest target on for Tom right now is the village.
The point I would disagree with there, Tyrith, is if Hayes can overflow for the game right now with Ellis, that obviously would be another way. But that's a tall order. I'm not saying he
Yeah,
can
He
do
did
it.
take the Ellis.
But-
Pretty
The
sure.
thing is also he has probably good destinies left in his reserve deck, so the Ellis will be very expensive,
Yeah.
and it is only Caesar who is.
He's got Boba Fett Bounty Hunter.
It's a 3/2/3, I think.
3/2/3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's also bad for battling in space.
Yeah.
3/2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. Like I said, he's
Yeah.
probably, if anything with the Ellis, he's going to go. I mean, he could go with the P59 to the village, shoot the villager, and get rid of
Well,
couple
if he
characters.
tries to shoot
Yeah.
the villagers goes used if P59 goes there, and then it's just 4 in a battle destiny versus 2 power in a battle destiny. That's not radically changing anything about the game.
Yeah.
I think P59 is better off just getting a drain in of 2 every turn.
Drain of. It's a drain of 1 effectively.
Effectively,
Yes.
because of the reduction. Yeah.
And he makes direct damage to
So he is looking at the
immediately.
village.
Well, no, because the villagers goes used to cancel weapon destiny, so there's
And
no
remember,
damage.
Lord
he goes-
Santeca's
okay.
actually, Lord Santeca, I think his defense value minus 3.
Wait, he doesn't. The villager goes used to cancel the weapon destiny.
Yeah, the villager's game text you can send
Yeah.
him use to cancel a weapon, so it wouldn't. That
But
was
he's
that.
also-
Would,
well,
so
he's
he would have
also
to. He would have to
powerless.
P59 somewhere else if he wanted to do that silly plan. But
And
I don't
then
think that's
you're
gonna
not
happen.
hitting anything else
Yeah.
with a 3.
No, he doesn't have anything good to track. So.
Really tough spot for Hayes.
He's going.
He is going to go for the Ellis.
It's an Ellis just to do damage, it looks like. Is that?
Yeah, he looks like he's going to the unoccupied Coruscant site, battleground site.
But
Yeah.
why?
So now we can drain for
No, he
2 there with the Expand the Empire or with the
No
Queen's
escape.
Fist.
But didn't he deploy Tarkin's bounty and then got the Ellis with it?
That's true.
So-
Yeah, we're gonna have to actually. Yeah.
Is he draining here? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I mean, he might not be draining.
I don't think he's draining.
Yeah.
What was it then?
Tom just lost 2 cards.
Oh.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, it looks like Slucci did catch that.
Oh, good
He
catch,
deployed the
Slucci.
card Tarkin's Bounty, and
And Ellis, yeah, and then.
Paul McPherson wants to know if Angelo is coming to the UK in 2 weeks. He says yes. Or he shook his head. He could have just said yes. Wow, that was a crazy catch. So yeah, Slucci went and told the active judge Phil that we needed to go back on that because we couldn't force drain after Ellis Hellrodding after you played Harkin's Bounty to get your Ellis.
Yeah, we'd already moved into the toy phase at that point.
So
Yeah, this is not looking good for Hayes.
Question is how much life force does Tom have right now?
maybe when Slucci gets back in, we can ask him, kind of see what it looks like from.
Because right now the board state is just so much in Tom's favor.
I mean, there's hasn't been many turns where Hayes actually been able to get a lot of damage in. He's been consistently pinging for 1 every turn. But I don't think that
I
gets.
think he's letting him. Is he letting him pull a different card? From,
seems so.
From Tarkin's Bounty.
Yeah, I think.
It's a classy move by Tom.
It looks like he's winning anyway, so.
I mean, this is to go to
This-
Worlds though.
This- he
Well,
also-
he's already at Worlds. This is
We'll go to the finals. You know
Well,
that.
I'm gonna-
fine.
The nice thing for Tom is I think Bastion's playing agents as well, so
and watch your step. Slucci
What's,
just came in and gave us a thumbs up.
do we know what Tom's light or dark side is?
Tom's Trooper IE, I believe.
Trooper IE against Watcher Step. Trooper IE is heavily
Oh, it's a
favored.
crush.
Yeah.
Especially Tom knows that matchup, I'm sure.
Tom, I've played that
Tom.
matchup with Tom dozens of times.
I'm sure. Yeah. So we'll see if Tom can pull this one out. Then he could be advantaged in the final. But obviously
Very
it's Bastion.
advantaged.
It's Bastion. So you still gotta play your
he's
balls
just-
off.
Well, he's just got to take his time.
Yeah.
I think Tom lost yesterday against Bastion in one really intense game.
It was Old Alex versus Black
Yeah.
Sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Chew has been eliminated, TV. It's going to be Bastion is waiting the winner of this match for the final. So yeah, Chew has been eliminated.
shout out to Toby.
Oh, his name is Toby?
Yeah.
TB? I always called him TV because that was his username. Now I'll just call him Toby.
I definitely think we need to have like names for people and usernames.
Well, it depends, I get called by a 50-50 split, it seems like, my username or my first name.
Yeah, it just depends on how I feel.
So looks like Hayes is still in his force pile, going over what exactly he's gonna take here.
This is such a tough decision because at this point, with this
11.
board,
He has 13. I counted 11 cards in his force pile. Which means he has 14 cards in light force.
Ravens played 3 overtime games this season out of 5. Browns and Ravens are in overtime, 9-9.
We would have a Browns victory over the Ravens. Baker Mayfield is the real thing.
yeah, 10 or 11, yeah. And then there's 3 cards left in his reserve deck.
Yeah, that was a 3-2-3.
Yeah.
They would have won the game if their kicker would have made it.
Oh, the extra point.
And Tom just needs to get Hayes below 7 cards in life force, or I guess probably down to 5 cards in life force.
Yeah, which will be like next turn or so.
Yeah, probably maybe not next turn because he might have some use interrupts he can play from hand. So but after he gets that, Tom can probably draw up. So 'cause he's playing Chelly for free to that outpost, and then he's gonna retrieve a droid into hand with Chelly.
Do we have Probot?
There's a Guri. That costs a lot of force.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. I just added. Must have just updated.
Because IG and 4 on our table, so Probot would be the card, but I don't. Yeah, he hasn't lost a Probot.
Okay, so Guri can limit
The
Tom and space.
the Destinies,
Yeah.
but it's not really it's not Tom drawing the Destinies that's hard here. I think that's the rough part for Hayes. I think it's more the amount of forfeit sitting on there, and the fact that he has low Destinies in his reserve deck right now, so he's just not going to be able to clear maybe 1 or 2 characters. And Tom really doesn't need to get that much more damage in before Hayes is below the threshold that he needs to be at to win the game, or to win the whole match, I should say. He's got Django, Bosk, and Guri in hand, along with the Boba Fett bounty hunter.
So Django and Bosk.
Going to fight Padme and Finn.
So it's one destiny to one destiny.
I don't. Yeah, but one Destiny, but Hayes
is going to subtract 2.
Hayes is going to. Tom's
Tom's
going
gonna
to
subtract 2.
Tom's subtract 2, and they're both immune less than 3. So here he draws the 2,
So it's
gets
a
subtract
0.
2. It's a 0. Draws a 1. I'm not quite sure what.
Does Hayes have the dark time?
I'm not quite sure what that battle was.
I think it's just
I think it was-
desperation mode
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at this point. Someone asked in the chat if Hayes can win this by 7. We're not even sure if Hayes can win this at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what Tom Kelly's life force is like, but I think it's considerably larger than like 10.
Why did Hayes battle there? Because
I don't think he was.
All you had to do is just sit. Well,
I think he should have just sat there and
Yeah.
made Tom do the
and here we
battling.
go with the drains.
He can place Decree out of play to get a Battle Destiny with Django Fett.
Yeah, but I mean, he just lost the character for spending lots of force for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he might just be.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
this is pretty much it. Hayes has looks like 6 in his life force, or 6 or 7 in his life force, and maybe 4 in hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's over.
the handshake.
Okay.
Tom
Tom
Kelly
Kelly.
versus Bastian Winkelhaus.
All
World
right.
Championships.
So there'll
T18.
probably be a little bit of a break here in between games. I'll let you know for sure.
It's like old times,
And
right?
we will
Battle from the past.
That's right. We will bring you the finals as soon as we have them. Thanks for sticking with us today, guys. We'll see you real soon.
No, it was Tom Kelly who won, right?
That's what I said.
Yeah, Tom Kelly. Yeah.